Hi, everybody, and welcome to Kings Classics. This is Bob Miller, and I'm joined on this program by two gentlemen who have been with the Kings for a lot of years. One of them played for 10 years for the Kings and has now been my partner on the telecast for 14 years, Jim Fox, still 7th all-time in Kings scoring. And the man that I worked 9.5 years with, and now he is the radio play-by-play broadcaster for the Kings, Nick Nixon. And since we can't bring you live hockey right now, we're going to look back at some of the memorable games in Kings history. And we're going to start with the October 6, 1988 game in which Wayne Gretzky donned a Kings uniform for the very first time. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about the atmosphere in Los Angeles when Wayne Gretzky was traded here and became a King. Jimmy, you played on that team. You played the year before. Didn't play due to injury the year Wayne got here, but played a few games the year after. What do you remember about that deal?
Well, first of all, I heard a little bit of the stuff happening beforehand. So I had my agent was talking and things. So it was tough to believe, to be honest. Everyone was saying Gretzky has a chance to come to Los Angeles. It was difficult to believe. When I finally did come down, it's weird. You think about all the things, and it was big. And you can't. I called my father. I mean, that's the first. I wouldn't do that on a lot of hockey stuff or, you know, what's happening with your team and teammates. But as soon as we heard and it was finalized that Wayne Gretzky was with the Kings, I had to call my family. I talked to my dad and I said, I can't believe it, but he's coming down. And that's what it was. It was more than hockey. It involved now the Canadian culture and Wayne Gretzky being the hero, the Stanley Cups he won, and obviously the marquee player in the NHL.
Right. I don't think there's been a player, and people related it to Babe Ruth, but Babe Ruth, when he was traded, was not the Babe Ruth we came to know later on. I don't know that there was a trade of a player in his prime the way Wayne Gretzky was traded, and everybody since then has said if Wayne Gretzky can be traded, anybody can be traded. Nick, what do you remember most?
Well, I was down at the Forum where the Kings used to play, obviously, and I remember the couple of days right after the trade, the phone was ringing off the hook, as we all expected it would be when the Kings acquired Wayne Gretzky. And the salespeople were so inundated, they called some of us to help answer the phones. And I was down there one day, I'll answer the phones. And I think to put it in perspective, I answered the phone and one guy says, "Did you just make a trade for Wayne Gretzky?" And I said, "Yes, we did, sir. He'll be with the Kings this year." He says, "Well, I don't know much about hockey, but I know who Wayne Gretzky is. I want season seats." Changes the whole, you know, landscape of hockey in Southern California, and as we have come to know in the United States.
It was interesting, Bob, as a player, right away, the opposition looked at the team different. The NHL offices looked at the team different. When you're on the ice, the referees looked at the team different. Another thing, equipment reps from around the league, the guys who bring you the sticks, the helmet, all of a sudden you could get whatever you wanted. Before that, it was, oh, you can't get this, you can't get that, you can't get this type. Now, whatever you wanted, you've got it, and it was all due to Wayne.
Well, the Kings became a very high-profile team right after that deal, and on October 6, 1988, it was opening night at the Great Western Forum and electricity in the air, and we're going to take you out there for the opening face-off of that memorable game, Wayne Gretzky's first in a King uniform, right after this.
But here with the opening face-off, Bob Miller.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. And no, I haven't. The season is underway. The puck comes up to center ice. Detroit, Steve Yzerman with it. He had 50 goals last year before a knee injury knocked him out. He sends it into the King zone. It comes around to Dave Barr. Barr sends it out to the blue line. Here's Lee Norwood for Detroit. He shoots. It's blocked for him wide on the way in. Puck is taken behind the King net, sent out in front, but tipped away in the corner and played now by Bobby Carpenter up the left side, but not out. Held in by Rick Zombo. Zombo from the right point drives it wide. It comes out to center ice. Taylor goes for it. Kings have Gretzky, Taylor, and Carpenter up front. Here's Tom Laidlaw back behind the King net now. Laidlaw waits there as you join us on radio and TV. Kings are moving from our right to our left. Bobby Carpenter's pass, it hits Gerard Gallant, and he's shaken up. Carpenter's pass hit Gallant. He's going to come off the ice. Red Wings with it again. Left point. Norwood shot. Deflects. Taken to center by Dave Taylor. Taylor gets knocked down. Here's Wayne Gretzky to Taylor to Gretzky. Gretzky across the line. Drop pass at the blue line. Tipped away by Yzerman of Detroit. Back into the King zone, and Dean Kennedy back to get it. Kennedy back on defense along with Steve Duchesne. Game just underway. Pass up the left side to Duchesne, almost intercepted by Miroslav Preacher of the Red Wings. Now in front of the King bench, Taylor gets it over to Kennedy. Backhands it in the Detroit zone. No score first period. In deep, Jim Pavis gave it away. Right side, Kings with it. There's Robitaille to Nichols behind the net. Nichols rolled it in front. Robitaille couldn't get to it. Taken by the Red Wings. Here's Freacher to center ice. Freacher sends it on the left side and off the boards into the Kings zone, and Rolly Melanson plays it around to the right side. Held in by the Red Wings, though. Centered up the middle, broken up by the Kings. Here is Duchesne to center ice to Nichols. Nichols across the line. Offside, Kings. Nichols got the shot. Save was made, but the whistle had blown and offside was called, and now we get the first skirmish of the night along the boards in the Detroit zone. Dean Kennedy was over there and pushing a little bit at Lee Norwood.
A little late hit by Lee Norwood right at the whistle for the offsides. Nichols carrying the puck through center and streaking down the left side and putting himself offsides, I think, was Luc Robitaille. Detroit Red Wings, coached by Jacques Demers in his third season in Detroit. First twice the coach of the year in the National Hockey League. He has really turned around this franchise. The Red Wings last year had the 5th highest point total in the NHL, 93 points, including 41 victories.
Face-off outside the Detroit blue line for the Red Wings. Adam Oates at center, and the draw won by Bernie Nichols. Kings with it. Here is Kennedy with Duchesne back at the King line. No score first period. Robitaille's on the left side. Nichols at center, but the Red Wings intercept. Gallant, after being shaken up, is back in action. Here's a pass ahead to Adam Oates down the right wing. And an offside called with 18:14 to go in the first period. We have no score in this game between the Kings and the Red Wings.
Early first period, 5 players out on the ice. Not a lot of experience, if any, in Los Angeles. Center Tim Tukey missed most of last year with a knee problem. He's flanked by newcomer John Tonelli on the left, Marty McSorley on the right, 19-year-old Wayne McBean on defense with newcomer Tim Waters.
And the Kings with it. Here's Tim Tukey in the Detroit zone, right side. Tukey in front of McSorley, and a save. Rebound, and one of the Kings pulled down in front of the net, and the Red Wings come back up to center ice. It was Tonelli pulled down in front of the net. Red Wings send it into the Kings zone. McSorley had a great chance. Now the Wings with a shot from the right side. It is wide to the left and taken away by Tim Tukey. Tukey for the Kings up to center ice with McSorley. Here's Tukey across the line. Lost the puck there. Red Wings start back the other way, but Tim Waters breaks it up at center ice. We have no score here in the first period. Puck taken by Wayne McBean. McBean's pass deflects off the boards. McSorley went forward there. Now Tonelli gets checked at center ice. Puck is taken by the Red Wings. Pass on the right wing side is offside. Detroit 17:25 to go here in the first period with no score. But I was looking for a penalty back in front of that Detroit net, Nick, when Tonelli got thrown down, but nothing called by referee Dan Maruelli.
Well, the first real good scoring chance, and it came against goaltender Greg Steffen. The Kings center the puck right in front. McSorley gets a shot away. Good save as he was dumped into the goaltender. Also piling into that goal was another one of the Red Wings, but a pretty good scoring chance by Marty McSorley driving for the net. Tonelli trying to follow up on the rebound, and he was pulled down, and that's what you're going to see a lot of from McSorley and Tonelli, driving for the net. Coach Robbie Fedoruk and Coach Brian Maxwell behind the bench tonight. The third coach, newcomer Cap Rader, is up on the press box.
Clear it out to center ice, taken by Steve Yzerman. Yzerman sends it off the left side to Joe Murphy. They traded Brent Ashton to give Joe Murphy a chance to make this team. He was a #1 overall draft choice the same year as Jimmy Carson. We have an offside against Detroit now. And John Demers said, we're going to trade Brent Ashton, and we're going to give Joe Murphy a real chance. But the guy that leads this club is number 19, Steve Yzerman.
Well, he's played 5 years in the NHL. He's only 23 years old. The youngest captain in Detroit history. Suffered a serious knee injury last season, late in the season. Same game, he got his 50th goal. And only 4 Red Wings have scored 50 or more goals in a season. His best year last year. Steve Yzerman, 50 goals and 102 points.
Wayne Gretzky, Dave Taylor, Bobby Carpenter up front for the Kings. Defensively now, the Kings have Crossman with Laidlaw. Puck is in the King zone, up against the boards to the left of the net. Gretzky goes for it there. He has help from Crossman. Crossman trying to move it along the boards. The Red Wings dig it out. Here's Paul McLean to the left point to Norwood. Shooting and a glove save, and covering up is the goaltender Rolly Melanson right in front of the King net.
Well, the Kings will give up that shot all night long. They worked the puck free along the boards in the right of Rolly Melanson's net, and Norwood took the shot, but Melanson saw it all the way. The Kings just making sure that nobody was in front to screen the goaltender or get a deflection. Melanson juggled it just a bit, but that's what you like to see if they're going to shoot from the points, Bob. Let your goaltender get a good look at it.
Lee Norwood played on a midget team or a minor team in the Detroit area owned by Mike Ilitch, who now owns the Red Wings. So he got an early start in the Red Wing organization, or at least with Mike Ilitch. Puck taken by the Kings in their own zone with 16:40 to go in the first period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. We have no score in the game. Red Wings chase it back to their own line now. Here's Jim Pavis sending it off on the right side to Doug Hallward. Hallward's a former King. He gives it up on the right side now to John Shabbat. Shabbat ahead and offside. A shot, but a save by Melanson, but the offside was called. Chris King, a rookie, took the shot. No score in the first period. We'll be right back. We're back again to the Forum. Puck is in the Detroit zone, and we've got a penalty coming up against the left wing boards. Nichols was there. He pushes, and we're going to get a penalty. And
I think Nichols and Freacher were doing the pushing along the near boards, and I'm not sure who's going to get the penalty, but after the whistle, Nichols was doing some pushing and shoving as the Kings were trying to put some pressure on in the Detroit end.
well, I think he's going to get one from each team. Bernie Nichols is going over to the penalty box for the Kings. He'll go in. Roughing is the call, and that may be it. I thought maybe he's going to get one of the Red Wings. So we were going to have our first power play of the night here. Bernie Nichols gets 2 minutes for roughing.
Again, the Kings were working with the puck along the near boards. Freacher, 14 of the Red Wings battling there, and yeah, Nichols on the simulcast replay punches Freacher on the right side of the head, and Freacher just turned around and looked at Nichols, and after the whistle, as we mentioned, Bernie kind of shoved him again, trying to get Freacher to retaliate. So Nichols, the game's first penalty at 3:48. Last year, the Red Wings power play 13th, Kings penalty killing 17th.
All right, we'll set the King penalty killers. Tonelli and Duguay up front for the Kings, with Kennedy and Duchesne back on defense. Red Wings trying to take the lead in the game. No score first period. Detroit with a power play. Coming up across the King line. Here's Yzerman with it. Yzerman top of the slot. Sends it to Norwood at the left point. Norwood to Yzerman. Yzerman against the left side boards. Yzerman still with it. Yzerman into the corner. Drops it in deep to McLean. Now to Yzerman. Now up the middle. Gallant shooting. Nice save by Melanson, and the puck cleared by John Tonelli.
Well, Gallant got open in that seam. He was set up in front, and he had room to receive the pass and shoot in one motion. And Melanson made an excellent save. That's really the first time Roley's been tested tonight.
A minute 15 left to go in the King penalty. Here's Duchesne within the King zone. Drags it behind the King net, then banks it off the boards to Robitaille, and Luke backhands it in the Detroit zone. Detroit's top power play man last year was Bob Probert. He's not with them this year. He's suspended. He had 15 power play goals. Yzerman and Gallant had 10 apiece last year. Now the Kings take it away. In the Detroit zone, here's Krushelnyski shooting, and it's wide to the left. Rebound off the boards. Kings have changed their penalty killers on the fly. Krushelnyski is out along with Robitaille up front. Waters back with Laidlaw on defense. 40 seconds left to go in the Detroit power play. Here's Sean Burr in the left wing corner with Yzerman. Yzerman with it, checked by Crossman. Burr digs it out for Detroit. Burr cut off by Crossman. Burr still with it up the left side now, and a shot save made. Rebound in front. Score by Steve Yzerman on the rebound of just a little shot from the left side of the crease. Put it in on the power play, and the Detroit Red Wings have scored first here tonight, and they lead 1-0.
Well, again, the Red Wings, like they did earlier on the power play, got an opportunity from right in front. They not only got one chance this time, they got two. Sharples with a shot. Save is made. Then Yzerman puts the rebound in past Melanson with some traffic in front. So Sharples with the wrist shot. Melanson the initial save, but he couldn't control the rebound. And Yzerman put the rebound right between the pads of Roley Melanson.
So the Kings back at full strength, trailing 1-0 here in the first period. Here is Tim Waters now. Waters up the center ice across the red line, drives it in the Detroit zone. Rebound to Norwood. Norwood behind the Detroit net, chased by Taylor. Now it comes in the corner. Taylor gets knocked down by Norwood. The puck taken by the Red Wings. On the right wing side, Sean Burr into the slot. His pass broken up by Gretzky, and Gretzky with him for the Kings. He starts it back the other way. Gretzky at the red line. Gretzky in the Detroit zone, down the right side, stops him on the boards, gives it now to Taylor. Tipped away, and the Wings are going to clear it. Waters had a notion to come in and get it, then thought better of it, and went back defensively. Wings clear it into the King zone, and Wayne McBean back to get it. Here's McBean up the center ice to Larry Playfair, playing a forward position. He drives it in on target. Steffen makes the stop. Here's Freacher with it on the right side for Detroit. He's bumped by Playfair. Puck comes up the center ice, taken by Paul Fenton. Fenton for the Kings, drives it in the Detroit zone. Chasing it in the corner is Sharples for Detroit. It's kicked away by Kennedy. Kennedy right wing corner. Kennedy defends it. He didn't get it. Out to Duchesne in front. Tipped in a save. The tip was by Fenton in the The save was made, and the puck cleared back down into the Kings zone. We'll have icing against Detroit as Duchesne goes back to touch it. 13:22 left, first period, 1-0 Detroit.
Well, the Kings bought themselves a pretty good opportunity as the shot by Duchesne from the top of the left circle went over the stick of Fenton right on goaltender Steffen, and I think Bob Steffen anticipated a tip, and that almost took him by surprise. But Kennedy pinching and Playfair getting in there quickly set up that chance.
1-0 Detroit. Kings have Duguay at center. He goes into the right wing corner, Detroit zone. Larry Playfair also there for the Kings. John Shabbat, number 16 for Detroit, but Duguay digs it out. He throws it in the corner to Playfair. Playfair rolled it up the middle, but Fenton couldn't get there. Puck taken by on the wings and cleared out to center ice, and here's a penalty to Duchesne as he grabbed John Shabbat and threw him down, and a holding penalty called against Steve Duchesne. We'll be back with the Detroit Power Play. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Duchesne gets the second penalty, holding. 6:57. Nichols got the first, and the Red Wings capitalized with the power play goal. Yzerman from Sharples and Burr at 5:22.
Now the Kings' Doug Crossman, newcomer from the Philadelphia Flyers, and his pass from the King bench goes up out of play. Robbie Ftorek behind the King bench, starting his first complete season in Los Angeles. Had a pretty good record last year, Nick, after he took over.
Yeah, the Kings were very consistent under Robbie Ftorek. He joined the club in the early portion of December, and they didn't put together a long winning streak, but they didn't put together a long losing streak. They were very competitive night after night.
Kings have Gretzky and Nichols up front to try and kill the penalty, but the Red Wings have it in the Kings zone to the blue line. Yzerman, he shoots and a save as the puck's off Lamonson to the right side, taken there by Paul McLean. To the blue line to Norwood, to the left point to Yzerman. Yzerman for Detroit on the power play. Sends it down in the corner. Detroit with a 1-0 lead. Here's Adam Oates with it now. Oates sends it in deep, taken on the right wing side by Gallant to the right point to Norwood. Back over to Oates and went behind him. Crossman tips it away. Now Nichols with it. Can't clear it. Held in by Yzerman. Yzerman stick handles, then lost it off his stick out to center ice. 1:15 left to go on the King penalty to Steve Duchesne. The Kings are down 1-0.
Well, Robbie Ftorek has made it clear that even though the Kings are going to be shorthanded, he's going to put some explosiveness out there up front. We've seen Robitaille, Nichols, and Gretzky kill penalties already tonight.
Now we've got Duguay and Tonelli up front with Waters and Kennedy back. Red Wings moving left to right. Here they come to center. Pass to Adam Oates. He comes across the line, broken up by Kennedy. Clears it back to center, taken by Sharples. Tonelli chasing him. Sharples pass to the King line, tipped away. Duguay can't hang on to it. Brought ahead by McLean, but his pass broken up by Kennedy, and he banks it out to center ice. 11:44 to go in the first period. 1-0 Detroit leading on a goal by their captain, Steve Yzerman. Here's Kennedy trying to clear it. Couldn't do it, but now it is cleared out to center by John Tonelli of the Kings. Kings will change penalty killers. Kruzhelnicki comes on and Duguay comes off. Red Wings send it back down into the Kings zone. Kennedy chasing it in. Kennedy in the corner, right wing side, flips it up on the glass and the left of the ice into the Detroit zone.
Well, the Red Wings trying to flip it in, but they're not winning the race with a loose puck. Twice Kennedy got back there quickly and found an opening.
Now the Wings with it. Last time the Kings won a home opener was over Detroit in 1980. They beat them 8-1 at center ice. Dave Barr knocks into the Kings zone for Detroit, taken by McBean. He's double team behind the net. Red Wings take it out. Kings are back at full strength. Red Wings with it. Dave Barr in the right wing corner. Loses it there. Robitaille ahead to center, taken by Kruzhelnicki. Kruzhelnicki across the line, left wing side, and he is checked there. Gets some help from Bernie Nichols. Puck comes down in deep in the corner, centered in front, but broken up as Kruzhelnicki's pass is tipped away and taken by Dave Barr. Barr sends it to center. He deflects into the Kings zone and back to get it Tim Waters. Waters backs it off the boards and he gets help from Kruzhelnicki. Kruzhelnicki's pass around the left side. Kings with it in their own zone. 1-0 Detroit first period. Pass to center by McBean. Here's Nichols across the Detroit line. Nichols got taken out of the play and the puck cleared to center. Miroslav Preacher, formerly with Toronto, shoots from the blue line. Stick save by Melanson. Preacher on the left wing side with his own rebound. Now it's tipped away and overskated. Who's got it? The Red Wings hold it in. John Shabbat behind the King net. Comes around the right side. He's cut off to the right wing corner by Doug Crossman. Puck still held in by Detroit. The centering pass by Chris King. Broken up. Kings clear at the center ice. Tipped away by Rick Zombo for Detroit to Shabbat. And Shabbat's pass broken up by the Kings. Here's Robitaille with it. Robitaille across the Detroit line, down the right side, shot hard by Zombo. Puck comes down in deep, picked up and behind the net. A pass out in front of Robitaille was tipped away, held in by the Kings again. Robitaille gets it from Gretzky. Now taken by Taylor. Taylor's pass left side to Duchesne. Duchesne to Robitaille. Robitaille out with Gretzky and Taylor. Taylor behind the Detroit net, tries to kick it loose. He has it, left wing side. Taylor, his pass in front, intended for Gretzky, broken up, and the wings come back to center. 9:25 to go, first period, 1-0. Favor Detroit, long drive, knocked away by Melanson. Kings in their own zone. Kennedy bumps along the boards. Now Duchesne comes over to get it to Bobby Carpenter. Here's Carpenter in the corner. Carpenter cuts right in front of Rolly Melanson, the King goaltender. Now pulls up and gives it over to Marty McSorley. McSorley ahead to Duchesne. Duchesne, Detroit zone. He shoots and a save made by Steffen. Puck taken by the wings. 1-0 in favor of Detroit. 8:58 to go, first period. Carpenter at center. Sends it on the right side to Marty McSorley. Tipped away from him by Sean Burr. Burr to center ice. Gets knocked down. Puck taken by the Kings. Here's Kennedy. We got a penalty coming up. Gretzky got knocked down. And a tripping penalty call. 1-0 Detroit. Kings go on the power play.
Tim Higgins gets the Red Wings' first penalty, tripping at 11:14. Gretzky was trapped in the zone. He tried to get out, so he wasn't trapped off sides, but he was upended in his effort, and the Kings go on the power play for the first time tonight, trailing 1-0 on a power play goal by Yzerman at 5:22. The Kings with a man advantage. Face off outside the Detroit blue line. Kings power play last year, 9th penalty killing. The Red Wings were 2nd in the NHL, 2nd only to Hartford.
Yzerman sends it back down into the Kings zone. Kings moving right to left as you join us on our first simulcast of the regular season. Puck is in the Kings zone. Here's Duchesne with it. Kings have Taylor with Carpenter and Gretzky up front, but the Red Wings doing a pretty good job of bottling the Kings up with their own blue line. Crossman gets it ahead to Taylor. Taylor slaps it in the Detroit zone. Puck comes around the right side. Gretzky lets it go to Carpenter. Carpenter into Gretzky in the corner. Gretzky, his pass to Duchesne, tipped away by Yzerman. Duchesne with it again. Gives it behind the net to Gretzky. He kicks it over to Taylor. Now left point Duchesne. Here's Duchesne to the right side. He gives it to Carpenter. Now to Duchesne. Now on the left wing side it goes to Taylor. Taylor with it. Taylor into Gretzky. Gretzky's pass to Carpenter and a save made by Steffen. And Carpenter runs into him. He's going to get a penalty for cross-checking.
Well, it was a beautiful setup by Wayne Gretzky to Bobby Carpenter, who shot off the pass, but maybe out of a little frustration at not scoring, Carpenter ran right into the goaltender, Greg Steffen. Gretzky, the backhand pass to Carpenter, the save, and Carpenter goes right into the goaltender and pins him up against the crossbar. And, well, they're ruling, I was going to say, Zombo had bumped Carpenter from behind, and then Carpenter hit Steffen, and that apparently is what the referee saw. And Steffen is complaining about that. So Zombo gets the only penalty for cross-checking.
All right, I was like you. I saw Carpenter go into the goaltender Steffen with his stick, and when the referee's hand came up, I thought that's going to be the penalty, but instead it is Zombo. So the Kings have a 2-man advantage for 1 minute and 12 seconds.
All right, there the domino effect. Zombo bumping Carpenter, who in turn gets the shot away and then bumps into the goaltender, and a little theatrics by Steffen, making believe that Carpenter was going to draw the penalty, but not the case. So a great opportunity for the Kings to tie it up.
Now off the draw, it's picked up by the wings in their own zone. They clear it, and they do. Pass Duchesne, and look out down the left side. Here's John Shabbat looking for a shorthander. He shoots wide to the right side as Melanson came out to meet him. Kings with it. Nichols pass to Carpenter out of his reach. Norwood gets it to Shabbat, and he drives it down into the Kings zone. Kings almost got in trouble there when Duchesne couldn't keep it in. Now Gretzky with it. Here's Gretzky to the red line. Gretzky across the blue line. Gretzky with it. Passes left side to Nichols. Detroit zone. Kings with a 2-man advantage. Nichols feeds it up the middle. Gretzky back to Nichols. Nichols top of the left circle. Kings are down 1-0. Now to Gretzky at the right point. Gretzky to Nichols. Nichols fakes a shot. Gives it left side and off the stick of Duchesne. And a pass to the left point to Gretzky. Deflects to Duchesne. Now to Gretzky. Or to, Nichols. Now to Taylor. To Gretzky. And he scores! season in the Kings in his first shot on goal tonight. Taylor gives it to Wayne Gretzky after Nichols got it to Taylor. Taylor on the left side fed it right over to Wayne Gretzky. And the game is tied 1-1.
Power play goal scored by number 99, Wayne Gretzky. Assist to number 18, Dave Taylor. And number 9, Bernie Nichols.
The power play goal at 12:54 with a two-man advantage. The Kings still have the power play. Gretzky from Taylor and Nichols.
Now at center ice, here's Carpenter from Gretzky. Carpenter right side, driving in, can't get around Yzerman. Goes behind the net. Carpenter still with it. He gives it to Taylor on the left wing side. Kings trying to take the lead now. They got the power play for 48 seconds. To the blue line, it goes to Laidlaw. Now to Taylor. Taylor feeds it in to Gretzky. His pass out to the right side to Tim Tukey coming in. He couldn't get it. Laidlaw, can he hold it in? No, it's taken by the Red Wings and cleared to center ice. Picked up by Laidlaw. 33 seconds up to go on the King power play. The puck rolls away from Gretzky, taken by Yzerman, but Gretzky gets it back again. So Wayne Gretzky gets the first goal in the new King uniform in the regular season to tie the game. Here's Tukey to Gretzky. Gretzky fakes it, shoots, deflected wide. Kings with it. Here is Robitaille, left wing side. Tried to roll it in front and hit the side of the net and is held there by the goaltender Greg Steffen, who grew up with Wayne Gretzky back in Brantford, Ontario. They were childhood buddies.
Well, Gretzky certainly enjoyed that goal. The great one with his first of many, no doubt, with the Los Angeles Kings. Led the Kings in preseason with 12 points in 6 games. No surprise there. Now needs 181 points to pass Gordie Howe, the NHL's all-time leading scorer. Wayne Gretzky, the Kings' first goal this season, a power play goal at 12:54 as he shoveled home that centering pass from Dave Taylor.
Now the Kings with the Waters at the blue line, trying to give it to Krushelnyski, left wing side, tipped away in the left wing corner, Detroit zone. 2 seconds to go in the King power play. Puck comes up the middle, Red Wings with it, and they are back at full strength. Game tied 1-1. Pass on the right wing, here John Shabbat, King zone, drops it back for Freacher. Freacher down the right side, going behind the net, still has it, comes around the left side. Miroslav Freacher, dropped it to John Shabbat. Shabbat, left side to Chris King, didn't get it. Right side, Hallward for Detroit. Hallward's pass on the right side, tipped away and toward the net. Melanson threw it away and was intercepted by Detroit. Melanson had it, then he got rid of it, and Detroit's Chris King intercepted. Now Freacher's pass deflects up over the glass into the crowd.
Detroit won, the Kings won. The clubs trading power play goals here in the first period. Yzerman and Gretzky, but at equal strength, both clubs have really struggled to get some good scoring chances.
Now the right point, Zombo with a drive, blocked on the way in by Dean Kennedy. He leads it up the center ice to Ron Duguay for the Kings. Here's Duguay down the right wing, Detroit zone. Dugay's pass into the slot, broken up by Rick Zombo. Zombo for Detroit. Clears it up the left side, and Gerard Gallant clears it to center ice. 1-1 the score, first period. Up comes left side, ball Fenton, Detroit zone, he shoots. Saved by the goaltender as he came out to cut down the angle and block the shot, as Greg Steffen made the right play there as Fenton tried to step around him. Now Fenton with it, shooting from inside the blue line just wide to the right. Taken by Jeff Sharples. Sharples bumped by Playfair. Sharples pass stolen by Fenton. Threw it in front, but Playfair couldn't pick it out of the air to tip it in. Puck comes out to center ice, broken up by Dean Kennedy. He slaps it back in the Detroit zone. Both teams are at full strength. Game tied 1-1. Puck comes back down into the King zone. Back you get it, Doug Crossman. Nick, I guess it's fitting. 2 big stars for each team. Gretzky gets the King goal. Yzerman gets one for Detroit. Pass ahead to Taylor in center. Taylor in the Detroit zone, into the corner. He's bumped hard there. Left wing side, Detroit zone. Taylor trying to get away from Gilbert Delorme. Now Carpenter helps out, gets it to the left side to Laidlaw. Laidlaw's pass in deep, broken up by Delorme. Taylor's right behind him. Gretzky's on the ice. He's behind the Detroit net with the wings intercept and can't clear it. Crossman with his pass broken up, and now Crossman holds it in again, but again it's broken up by Detroit. Gilbert Delorme. Delorme to center it. He drives it back behind the King net. 3:53 left to go. Here in this first period, we got a penalty coming up against Detroit.
Yeah, Delorme tackled Taylor as Taylor trying to get off the ice to the Kings bench.
Delayed penalty. Gretzky slaps it into Detroit zone. Kings will go on the power play with 3:40 to go in the first period.
Jacques Demers cannot believe that call, but the two players, Delorme and Taylor, were both trying to get to their respective benches, and they had to crisscross at the red line. They bumped, and in frustration, Delorme just grabbed a hold of Taylor and threw him to the ice, and he was caught by the referee, Dan Marawelli. So the Kings get a break, and they go on the power play.
Remember, the Kings are right back here on Saturday night. The Calgary Flames will be here. We'll have it on KLAC with our pregame talk show at 10 minutes to 7. Sunday night radio and television when the New York Islanders come in. So a big opening weekend for the Los Angeles Kings. And there are tickets available for box office and all Ticketmaster outlets.
Gilbert Delorme to the penalty box. The veteran defenseman started out with Montreal, St. Louis, Quebec, now Detroit. Holding at 16:20 here in period number 1. So the Kings go on the power play for the third time. Kings 1, Red Wings 1.
Face off to the right of Greg Stephan, and on the draw, Kruzhelnyski taking the draw. Stephan comes out. He gets bumped along the boards, but the Red Wings get it, and it's cleared down into the Kings zone by Zombo. And the Kings come back to center now. Here is Duchesne giving it off on the right side to Kruzhelnyski. And he gets knocked down, gets up, has the puck, gets it to Nichols in the corner. Here's Nichols, bumped. He has Robitaille with him. Robitaille gives it to Kruzhelnyski. Kruzhelnyski, right wing side, Detroit zone. Game tied 1-1. Into Robitaille. Robitaille to the right of the net. Up the middle to Duchesne, to Nichols. Couldn't get it. Broken up by Zombo. And Zombo brings it to center ice. Here's a 3-on-2 for the Wings. Zombo in the slot, going right down the middle. He shoots, save Melanson. Zombo went right between Duchesne, who was back on defense, and got a shot that Melanson made the save on.
He's kept backing in, Bob, and they let Zombo take advantage of that opening between Duchesne and Gretzky, the right point man.
Now to center ice, Kings with it again. Here's Duchesne at the red line, slaps it in the Detroit zone. 55 seconds left to go in the King power play. Puck comes over to the wings, and it is cleared off Gretzky, stick to center ice by Sean Burke. Gretzky gets it again and gets it in front of the King bench to Duchesne. Duchesne got bumped hard, but Higgins is the Detroit player that went down. Puck is at center ice. Here's Gretzky. Beats it over to Laidlaw. Tips it up to Taylor on the left side. Taylor in the Detroit zone. Checked by his buddy Doug Hallward. Puck comes down in deep in the corner. Now Laidlaw bumped there, and the puck taken by Carpenter left side. Up the middle to Gretzky. Gretzky, his shot deflected by Jim Pavis of Detroit. Hallward with it. Hallward can't hold it. Taken away by the Kings. Right wing side. Now it comes to Carpenter up the middle to Gretzky at the blue line. Gretzky back to Carpenter. Right wing. He shoots. Deflected on the way and score on the rebound. Luke Robitaille. The first shot was deflected, but Luke Robitaille, former NHL Rookie of the Year, was right there after Gretzky gave it to Carpenter in the right circle. Carpenter blasted one. It was deflected right back on the right side off the goaltender, and Robitaille scores, and the Kings lead 2-1.
That's why Luke Robitaille gets a bundle of goals. He knows how to hang around that net. Led the Kings in scoring in his first 2 seasons. Set club records for points and assists by a left winger last year, 111 points, and he gets his first goal of the year on the power play here at 18:06 of the first from Gretzky and Carpenter.
Now the Kings with it at center ice, tipped by Ron Duguay, taken by the wings. Here's Zombo, sends it on the left side, and it's driven down into the Kings zone, but played off the boards and skated out quickly now by the wings, or by the Kings. I'm sorry, Waters. I was looking behind the play. I thought Detroit might get a penalty. Puck comes to the right point, held in by McBean. Here's McBean's pass, knocked down and forced out to center ice, taken by Tim Waters. Waters fires it right back into the King zone. We had talked about the mobility of the King defenseman. It has improved this year, and they're skating it out of the zone quickly. Now a pass by Duguay, broken up, and the wings come to center, 3-on-2. Waters gets back, pass on the right side for Detroit. Across the line, Jeff Sharples, his cross-ice pass over to Shabbat. Shabbat had his pass tipped by McBean. Puck comes back behind the King net. Kings ahead 2-1 here in the first period with 1 minute to go in the first period. At center ice, Chris King, rookie for the Wings, fires it into the King zone, and Wayne McBean back to get it. McBean's not a rookie. He played 27 games with the Kings last year. Pass to Tukey on the right wing for the Kings, broken up by Gerard Gallant. 2-1 Kings, 44 seconds to go first period. Here's Adam Oates for Detroit. He comes into the Kings zone. It's broken up. Kings have it in their own zone now. Pass up the left side, off the boards, and out to center ice. Tuki, but driven right back behind the King net. Taken by Laidlaw. Tom Laidlaw's first game since the 21st of September when he had a thigh injury in a preseason game in Portland. Kings can't clear it. Laidlaw with it again in the Kings zone. Up the left side to Tonelli. He tips it nicely to Tuki. Tuki gives it on the right side to McSorley. McSorley drops it for Tuki. Right side in front and broken up as they try to get it back to McSorley. Wings come back to center ice with a 3-on-2 working again. On the right wing, here's Dave Barr. Barr cutting in. Back to Gallant. Gallant shot blocked by Laidlaw. Rebound. Pavisa's shot blocked by Laidlaw while he's on the ice. Gallant with it. And it is tipped away. And a whistle with time expiring here in the first period. In the period, Detroit got the first goal. Steve Yzerman is first on the power play from Sharples and Burr at 5:22. But then Wayne Gretzky got the first King goal of the power play from Dave Taylor and Bernie Nichols at 12:54. And then Luke Robitaille on the power play is first for the year from Bobby Carpenter and Wayne Gretzky at 18:06.
Welcome back, everyone, to Kings Classics. We are taking a look at the very first game that Wayne Gretzky ever played in a Kings uniform back in 1988. We've seen the first period, and I guess over the years we had come to expect things like that happening. Wayne Gretzky's career seemed scripted in a Hollywood script. It was no different on opening night. His very first shot in a King uniform, he scores.
It's almost like, even from a player standpoint, Bob, you expected it to happen that way because of the things you were just talking about. And I know the word belief is thrown around, sports, hockey. You have to believe in what's going on. And I was just talking about earlier about how the league looks at you differently, and all of a sudden the referee, everyone treats you. Now the Kings team believed in themselves. They looked at themselves differently, and certainly with Gretzky on your team, you have a chance, you believe you can win.
And Bob, obviously, the anticipation leading up from the trade to opening night, it's finally here. And I think the fans realize that with Wayne Gretzky, it changes everything. The Kings are now a legitimate contender and will be. I remember a remark that Harry Sinden, who was the longtime general manager of the Boston Bruins, he said after that trade, this changes everything. And what he meant was new teams are going to be factors to reckon with come playoff time, and obviously the Kings were going to be one of those teams.
Right. Well, they certainly were on that night. And in the second period, the Kings leading 2-1 came up with 4 goals in the second period. Let's go now to period number 2 on that night back in October 1988.
If there's a coach that has ever been in the NHL that you could say is a motivator, you'd have to say it's Jacques Demers.
Well, we'll see if he's motivated his wings for the second period. It's underway. The puck comes down in the Detroit zone. Kings ahead 2-1. Puck comes around the boards and to the blue line where Steve Yzerman sweeps it out to center ice for Detroit now to Paul McLean. 40-goal scorer with Winnipeg last year. They traded Brent Ashton to get it. Puck comes back behind the King net as Laidlaw goes down, and the puck is still loose and played now by the Kings. Up on the right wing side here to center ice is Tuki, and he drives it down in the Detroit zone. Cut off by the goaltender as it comes around the left wing side now as Stefan passed it up on the left to Joe Murphy. Here's Joe Murphy for Detroit across the King line, sends it down in deep behind the net. Steve Duchesne back to get it. Feeds it up the left side to John Tonelli. Tonelli won 4 Stanley Cup for the Islanders. He gets it over to Gretzky. Gretzky to McSorley. Tipped away. McSorley with it. Now in front to Gretzky. Gretzky backhander saved by Stefan. And poked loose and taken by Adam Oates.
Boy, he stopped on a dime and took the backhander and almost caught Stefan leading to his right.
How many times have we seen that stop on a dime? I'll tell you that. He owned the Kings when he played against them for the Oilers, so it's nice to see him producing for the Kings now, Wayne Gretzky, and he has that ability to change directions instantly and get himself open for the shot, but Greg Stefan was ready for it there. Puck driven at center ice and now into the King zone, chased down by the King Steve Duchesne. Duchesne's pass, he didn't get all of it. He looks a little tight so far in the first and second period. Puck comes right through the crease out to the left side. Here's Pavis with a drive, tipped in front and right into Melanson, who's sitting on the ice, and he hangs on for the faceoff. With 18-17 to go here in the second period, the Kings lead it 2-1.
Well, Steve Duchesne last year had more goals, assists, and points than any Kings defenseman. But I don't know, it looked like somebody out there was expecting a whistle after the Red Wings had dumped it in, maybe an icing call, and it looked like everybody on the Kings kind of eased up and they weren't sure what to do with it. And the Red Wings took advantage, pounced on the puck, and centered it right in front. It's kind of a bang-bang play. Gerard Gallant was trying to kick it free, maybe kick it across on the right side to Murphy and get a shot on goal. And right before that, at the other end, Gretzky faking the forehand, spinning, turning, and shooting on the backhand from point blank.
Face off to the right of Rolly Melanson. I guess, Nick, they say when you watch him every night, it's almost every night that he does something you haven't seen before. Face off in the Kings zone. Kings ahead 2-1. First game of the season. Puck taken in behind the King net by Wayne McBean. He wraps it around to Robitaille. Luke's pass didn't clear the zone. Held in the right point by the Red Wings and sent in deep by Adam Oates. And now centered in front. But Oates can't get his stick on it. Nice centering pass. It comes over now to Gallant. Gallant to the right point to Hallward. Shooting tipped wide. Rebound taken on the right side by Dave Barr. Barr's pass tipped away for the Kings. Here they come to center. Here's Robitaille. Throws it over on the right side now. And here's Kruzhelnyski for the Kings. Kruzhelnyski gives it to Robitaille. Tipped away. Red Wings come back. 2-1 Kings lead, second period. Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon. Here's Gerard Gallant. Gallant pass right through the slot. Oates couldn't get a stick on it. Puck taken by Bernie Nichols. Nichols up to center ice. Now the red line. Kruzhelnyski in the Detroit zone. Kruzhelnyski's pass to Robitaille was up in the air. He's Sambo going to boards. Kruzhelnyski also there. He goes down to the ice. Puck taken by the wing. They come to center 2-on-2. Here is Adam Oates. Oates out of RPI. Sends it in the middle. Blocked down the shot from the middle. Now it comes off to the right side to Zombo. The shot was by Chris King. Zombo holds it in. He gets checked by Duguay. Puck is back behind the King net. Laidlaw trying to work and free to Kruzhelnyski. He does. Kruzhelnyski gets tripped. No call. He falls down behind the net on the puck. Now the puck is loose, so Kruzhelnyski gets up and wraps it around the boards and out to center ice. 16:52 to go, second period. Here's Chris King, rookie for the wing, shooting and a save by Melanson off his stick. Rebound comes to the Kings, cleared to center by Kruzhelnyski. Now taken to the red line. Paul Fenton's pass over to Duguay, broken up by the Red Wings, John Shabbat. Shabbat back in his own zone. 16.5 minutes to go in the second period. Kings ahead 2-1. Puck comes out to center ice. Kings have it. Here's Tim Waters to Laidlaw. Now to Waters. Back of the King blue line. Kings moving left to right. Waters drives it down in just wide of the net, but an offside called against the Kings. And we'll be right back.
16:22 left second period. 2-1 Kings. Veteran Ron Duguay out at center ice between Fenton and Playfair. Duguay has played center and right wing since he was acquired last March from New York for Mark Hardy.
Now the puck driven down into the Detroit zone, played by Jim Pavis. Pavis sends it up across the blue line. Left wing pass to Chris King off the back of his skate, and the Wings go offside at the King blue line with 16:05 to go in the second period.
Chris King, one of the few youngsters making this hockey club, 6 feet 193, 307 minutes. Last year at Adirondack in the AHL, signed as a free agent in June of 1987. 1 goal in 3 games last year for Detroit after his recall. The Kings not playing tonight. Jim Fox is joining us on the simulcast. Off-season arthroscopic surgery on both knees. He is skating, however, now with the club. Mike Allison has been bothered the last couple of weeks in training camp with a wrist problem. He's coming along nicely. And Ken Baumgartner out because of numbers tonight.
All right, Kings with it. Wayne Gretzky on, drives it in, and a save off the stick of Steffen, and Gretzky fired from the blue line. Almost surprised Steffen. Puck comes to Gretzky, left wing side. To the blue line, down to Duchesne. His shot just wide. Rebound. Carpenter goes for it. He's checked by Hallward. Carpenter kicks it to Gretzky. Gretzky gives it to Taylor. Taylor on the right wing side. Detroit zone. Taylor bumped there. He gets it to Carpenter. Out toward the right point to Kennedy. Pinching along the boards. Holds it in. Gets it to Taylor. Taylor bumped there. A real battle along the boards for it. Now Kennedy's shot blocked by Steffen. Gretzky tried to come by and tip it out of midair, but Steffen got to it first. Now the Wings clear to center, but Taylor with it. Taylor taking off sides. Red Wings with it. Here comes Chris King across the line. Sends it on the left side to John Shabbat. Shabbat backhands it right side over to Preacher. Preacher in the right wing side. Up the middle it goes. Penalty coming up against the Kings. Shabbat shoots. Saved by Melanson. And the penalty going to be called here against the Los Angeles Kings with 15:07 to go in the second period. The Kings lead at 2-1, and we'll be back with the Detroit power play. Steve Yzerman out to take the draw. He's got the Red Wing goal tonight. It came on the power play. He's got Gerard Gallant on his right side. He wins the draw to Norwood, to Gallant. Gallant, right side of the King zone, to the right point to Norwood. Here's Norwood at the blue line. His shot blocked on the way in, and the Kings will have it. It was blocked blocked by Laidlaw and brought to center by Robitaille. He throws it back to Laidlaw in the Kings zone. He gives it to Tim Waters, and Waters drives at the length of the ice. Norwood back to get it for Detroit, back in his own zone. What kind of attention for this game tonight? 4 television originations here tonight, 2 radio, 58 reporters here tonight from around the United States and Canada. And the puck slides out to center ice. They've got reporters here, Nick, from New Jersey, Chicago, Philadelphia, Montreal, Edmonton, Toronto, New York, San Diego, Denver, Fort Worth, Texas, Boston, Calgary. I'll tell you, they are flooding this press area here tonight to cover this game. Kings lead at 2-1. Red Wings with it. Here's Eiserman off on the right side with a minute to go in the power play. Pass up to Norwood at the blue line. He shoots, save, Melanson. Rebound, Laidlaw clears it.
Rolly Melanson had traffic in front that time. Norwood blasted one. A good low drive. Melanson made the save, but again couldn't handle that rebound. But fortunately, Rolly got help, and the Kings were able to quickly clear it.
40 seconds left to go in the power play for the Red Wings. Here's Gallant down the left side. Gerard Gallant's pass to Eiserman. Eiserman back to Gallant on the left wing. Gallant feeds it left point to Sharples. His shot tipped wide by Eiserman. Puck is picked up by Duchesne. Duchesne goes behind the King net, wraps it around the boards, but Sharples holds it in. He's checked by Tonelli. Now the puck to Eiserman. He shoots, tipped wide, and Melanson gets knocked flat on his back, and he's shaken up.
I don't know if he got that deflection, Bob. The referee made a high stick call as if the puck was knocked out of the air with a high stick, but Melanson went down quickly. I don't know if he got clipped with the stick as a Detroit player tried to deflect it, or if he got the deflected puck. But he is down and in a lot of discomfort. Rolly Melanson.
I heard it crack like it hit something on the way in. Hard to tell if it was a stick or it must have been Melanson, and King trainer Peter Demers is out there already. Steve Eiserman let a blast go from right at the top of the slot. I think it hit his mask.
Yeah, I think it did, and I don't know. McLean may have screened him, or McLean may have just got a piece of it with the base of the shaft of his stick. But Eiserman from the right circle letting the shot go. McLean is in front, and it goes off Melanson, and he falls backward in a hurry, and he is still down and being attended to.
Kings leading 2-1. 19 seconds left to go in the penalty to Dave Taylor. 13:25 remaining here in the second period. So Rolly Melanson stays in, playing away again. Here's Norwood. Detroit with a power play for another 13 seconds, trailing 2-1. Pass to Dave Barr on the left wing of the King zone. Now behind the King net, picked up there by Sean Burr. Burr sends it down in the corner to Gallant. Now back to Barr. Barr sends it down and deep to Gallant again. Left wing side, or excuse me, Adam Holmes. He gets knocked down, and the Kings are back at full strength. Puck comes up to center ice. Here's Taylor out of the penalty box. He's got Gretzky with him. Taylor to Gretzky. Left side to Taylor. He couldn't get to it. He got pulled down. No penalty. Puck comes off the boards wide on the right side, but Taylor with it. Taylor gives it to Gretzky behind the net. Gretzky still with it there. Goes in the left wing corner, spins away from Hallward. Kicks it up on his stick to the skate. Passes up the middle to Carpenter. He shoots. Blocked on the way in. Carpenter with it again. Left side. Shot by McBean on a penalty. Score! Tipped in. The Kings have scored again on a drive from the left point that was deflected in perhaps by Dave Taylor. And the Kings lead 3-1.
McBean lines it up, delayed penalty. The shot is deflected once by a Detroit stick, possibly twice by Taylor, and sails over the right arm of a stunned Greg Stephan, who just gives the palms up signal as if, where the heck was the puck? McBean with the shot, and Taylor may have got a piece of it on the delayed penalty. 3-1 Los Angeles.
And it is Taylor with a goal. Now here's Kruzhelnicki across the line, walking in, pass left side, score! Paul Benton! Bernie Nichols, I'm sorry, Bernie Nichols with the goal. Kruzhelnicki made a great move to come down the right side. Robitaille gave it to Kruzhelnicki. He cut down the right side, made a great move, and then flipped it over to Bernie Nichols on the left side. And Nichols scores, and the Kings lead 4-1.
seconds apart, Taylor and then Nichols. So the big guns are having fun tonight. Gretzky, Robitaille, Taylor, and Nichols, all with goals, and the Kings have opened up a 3-goal lead at 4-1.
Now the puck is deep in the Detroit zone. Puck comes to the right side to Nichols. Nichols in the corner, spins away, drops it off now as Robitaille comes to the top of the slot, goes to the left side, he shoots, saved by Stefan in his pass, and the puck taken by Jim Pavis. Now rolls across the blue line to center. Kings with it, or excuse me, Detroit with it. Joe Murphy sends it into Kings zone. Yzerman with it on the right side. Yzerman's pass comes out to center ice, and Gilbert DeLorme had it taken away by Nichols. Nichols across the line, moves to the right point, stops there in the Detroit zone. His pass intended for Robitaille, broken up, but Yzerman is able to clear it to center ice right in front of the King bench. 11:35 to go here in the second period. Kings ahead 4-1 after they were behind 1-0. King Steve Duchesne sends it into Detroit zone. Back to get it is Norwood. Around the right side to Paul McLean for Detroit. Up to center ice to Adam Oates. Here's Oates to the King line. Oates trying to go down the middle. Tipped away. And penalty coming up against the Kings. A delayed penalty. The puck comes off the boards to center. Duguay with it, but we got the penalty coming up here. Hooking is going to be the call. And with the Kings ahead 4-1. We'll be right back.
Paul Fenton gets 2 for hooking at 8:49 here in the second period, but an explosion 13 seconds apart by Taylor and Nichols, and the Kings are up 4-1. The penalty taken as the Red Wings were coming on the attack. Fenton back checking, had to grab a hold of one of the wings and dump him to the ice. Fourth power play for Detroit tonight. They're 1 of 3. Kings are 2 of 3.
Now at center ice, puck driven down into the Kings zone. It's along the left wing boards as the Kings try to dig it out. They do, and Ron Duguay shovels it out to center ice. Duguay and Tonelli up front to kill the penalty. Back on defense, the Kings have Kennedy and Duchesne. Puck comes on the right side now as the wings bring it in. Dave Barr sends it down the right side. Here's Gallant and Kennedy into the corner. Duguay comes in to help out. Duguay around to Tonelli. Tonelli along the boards, gets spun around. Sharples holds it in for Detroit. Detroit trying to get back in the game. They've given up 4 straight goals. They've got the power play. Puck is behind the King net. Pass by Gallant comes out to center ice and back down into the Detroit zone.
The people watching and listening are hearing names like Tonelli and Kruzhelnyski, Ron Duguay, and they're saying probably, boy, the Kings have a lot of veterans out there. Their average age here on opening night is 27.1. That's old. The oldest player on the Kings, Captain Dave Taylor at 32, and the youngest, Wayne McBean, who assisted on the goal by Dave Taylor earlier this period. McBean is 19.
Faceoff will be right out of the red line with 10:22 to go here in the second period. Kings ahead 4-1. Wayne Gretzky has a goal and an assist so far in the game tonight. He got the Kings' first goal. Puck taken by the Red Wings. They've got a minute left to go in their power play. Here is Sean Burr. Burr in front of the King bench. Puck hard there by Nichols, and he gets cracked from behind by Miroslav Preacher. Now the puck comes to Gretzky. He chases it in the right wing corner. Detroit zone. Gretzky pumped there. Puck taken by Steve Yzerman. Here's Yzerman for Detroit. He has their goal tonight. He gives it to Preacher. Preacher's out of Czechoslovakia. Steps across the King line, sends it down the corner. Picked up on the right side now as Preacher takes it behind the King net. Now picked up by Sean Burr. Tried to wrap around, and it's held against the side of the net. And look out in front. We've got Preacher and Nichols, and that goes back to when Preacher cracked Nichols from behind right in front of the Detroit bench.
And I was surprised, Bob, that a penalty wasn't called on Preacher because he hit Nichols from behind. Bernie was facing the boards, and maybe because there was no glass there in front of the bench, the referee let it go that time. But these days, when a player gets popped pretty good and he doesn't know it's coming and he's facing the boards, they call a penalty. Well, they tried to jam it in. The Red Wings did as they look to generate some offense now. Sean Burr trying to wrap it around, but Tim Waters got a stick on it to prevent him from getting the shot he wanted, then pushing and shoving in front. You see Bernie push Preacher right there, and Preacher then I don't know what language he's using, but Bernie still doesn't appreciate it.
I think Bernie understood it. We have a couple, Robert and Liz, that had a baby boy born today, and they named him Wayne Richard Cruz. He was born at 3:01 p.m. They said they made a deal a month ago. If they had a baby born on this day, they'd name him after Wayne Gretzky. So we congratulate them. Puck is in the King zone behind the net. Out to the left point now on the power play. Shot from there by Norwood. Blocked on the way in. And a hand pass called against the Kings.
Tom Laidlaw blocking that shot and then feeding it up to Waters, so we get the hand pass. The Detroit Red Wings hoping that maybe this is Joe Murphy's year. Former first-round draft choice, first overall in 1986, of course, the second pick. The Kings took Jimmy Carson. He was Rookie of the Year in the CCHA at Michigan State in 85-86, 24 goals, 37 assists. Joe Murphy getting a chance to play with the big boys in preseason and also here at the start of the regular season with Yzerman and McLean up front.
Ready on the face-off to the right of Rolly Melanson. 19 seconds left in the penalty to Paul Fenton. Bernie Nichols on the face-off against Steve Yzerman. Kings ahead 4-1 here in the second period. Puck taken by Dean Kennedy. Kennedy over to Gretzky. Gretzky with a two-hander, can't clear it out. It's held in by Jeff Sharples of Detroit. Now Nichols throws a check at Sharples. Gretzky tried to get it. Sharples with it again. He gets it down in the corner to Paul McLean. Now the puck is loose to Gretzky. Gretzky gives it to Nichols. Bernie comes to center at the red line. Nichols across the line. And now a shot save made. Kings are back at full strength. Paul Fenton jumped out of the penalty box to join the play. But Nichols shot from the right side, and Stefan made the save. Now Detroit with it. Sharples ahead to center. Pass went behind Joe Murphy, taken by Crossman. Crossman's pass on the right side, broken up and taken by Lee Norwood of Detroit. He gives it to Sharples. 8:49 to go, second period. Kings ahead 4-1. Here's Doug Crossman, obtained last week from the Philadelphia Flyers in the trade for Jay Wells. He sends it up to center ice.
How many guys do they have in the ice?
They got too many, that's for sure, and the fans were counting too.
7.
So the Kings go on the power play.
2 players come off and 4 go on, and that means too many men on the ice. So things are kind of disintegrating for Detroit here in the second period. Jim Pavis will serve the penalty. Too many men at 11:20, fourth power play for the Kings. The Kings are up 4-1 on goals by Gretzky, Robitaille, Taylor, and Nichols. Gretzky also with an assist.
Face-off out at center ice. It is Gretzky against Yzerman, two of the greats in the league. And off the draw, Yzerman wins the draw to Norwood. Now to Zombo, and Rick Zombo sends it into the Kings zone. Doug Crossman back to get it. Kings up front have Carpenter, Taylor, and Gretzky. Now here's Duchesne. He sends it over to Carpenter. Bobby drives it into the Detroit zone. Picked up by Higgins. He fell down. Here's Gretzky with it. Behind the net. Rolled it in front. Picked up by Crossman. He's in deep. He sent it in front. Broken up and then almost sent toward the Detroit net by one of the Red Wings. It was Tim Higgins. Now he flips it into the Kings zone. It's taken by the Kings. They're moving left to right as you join us on radio and TV. 8 minutes to go, second period. 4-1 Kings. They've got the power play right now. Puck driven back behind the Detroit net. Sent around the right side as the Kings try to hold it in. They do at the right point. Here's Crossman. Crossman sends it to Duchesne. Duchesne feeds it down the left side. And then a pass by Gretzky broken up and cleared to center ice with 1:03 left to go in the King power play. Melanson's pass tried to get into Gretzky at center, but it was up in the air, and the Red Wings took it away. And they drive it back down to the King blue line. Picked up by Sean Burr. Burr comes into the King zone, and a penalty coming up against the Kings. Doug Crossman's going to get the penalty for interfering with Dave Barr just inside the blue line of the Kings. So with 49 seconds remaining, the King power play is gone, and both teams are going to be a man shy.
Well, Crossman a little tentative with the puck as the Kings weren't sure what they wanted to do as they tried to bring the puck up ice in the power play, and a mix-up, and Detroit got possession, and Crossman collided with Barr, and Barr fell down. Crossman gets 2 for interference, so this nullifies the power play. Doug Crossman, 28-year-old defenseman, last 5 years with the Philadelphia Flyers. Right at the blue line, Crossman of the Kings in the white and black on our simulcast. He just kind of collars Barr on the right side of the screen, and down he goes, and Crossman goes to the penalty box.
So it's a 4-on-4 now as each team is a man shy. The puck is out at center ice. Kings with a 4-1 lead. They trailed at 1.1-0. They have scored 4 straight goals. Puck taken now by the Kings. Mike Kruzhelnicki gives it in to Laidlaw. Laidlaw in the King zone, bothered by John Shabbat. Puck comes around the boards, and the Kings with it. Here up to center ice now is Kruzhelnicki. He gives it to Laidlaw. Laidlaw with Robitaille. Laidlaw to the left side to Robitaille. Left wing taken away by John Shabbat. 7 minutes to go in the second period. In 17 seconds, Detroit will have a power play. They'll get Pavis out of the penalty box. Shabbat throws the puck on the left side in the Kings zone. Nobody there for Detroit. Now, Norm looked like he threw a punch at the back of Robitaille's head. Puck comes around to the right side to Miroslav Freacher. Freacher for Detroit, King zone, top of the slot, passing down on the right side. It's tipped away from Shabbat. Now comes behind the King into Laidlaw. He gets bumped hard by Freacher. Freacher's the one Red Wing as the puck comes up out of play. Has really been throwing some tough body checks out there.
And Laidlaw stops play by flipping it off the glass into the crowd. Laidlaw hasn't played a game in the last couple of weeks because of a bruised thigh. Ken Dryden, former goaltending great in the glasses on our simulcast, and to his left, John Candy. Boy, did we enjoy him and Steve Martin in planes, trains, and automobiles last year, didn't we? That was a lot of fun.
Well, that hit home. We spent so much time there in the airports. Not on trains, but...
well, give us time.
I'd like to do that sometime back east, maybe Washington to New York on the Metro line. Here is Yzerman with it, left wing corner. Yzerman in the King zone on the power play for Detroit. Pass in and a save by Melanson. He beat McLean. McLean had a great chance on the left side of the net, and now Gretzky clears it ahead to Nichols, and Bernie sends it in the Detroit zone.
Well, McLean is going to be a big key on the Detroit power play this year because he's been great around the net over the years, last 7 years with Winnipeg and Dale Howardchuk as line mates.
Now McLean into the King zone. Passes left side. It comes off the boards. Gerard Gallant couldn't find it. Kings with it. Pass ahead on the right side. Cleared by Nichols to center and down into Detroit zone. McLean had a hat trick against the Kings in the final preseason game of the year last Sunday night in Oakland. Now the goaltender Stefan steps behind his net, passes around the boards. Kings have 9 seconds left to go in the penalty. Duguay out to kill it, but the Wings bring it to center. Here is Gallant giving it to Yzerman. Yzerman across the line, centered on the right side to McLean. McLean behind the King net. Kings are back at full strength. Here's McLean, left wing corner in the King zone. Spins away from Kennedy. McLean with it. Side of the left circle. Waits there. Pass, hit a skate, taken by Duguay. And Duguay headmans it up the center ice and off the stick of Doug Crossman. 5:13 to go here in the second period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon, and the Kings ahead 4-1. Puck taken by Yzerman. Yzerman for Detroit to Gallant. Left side with Sharples. Sharples shooting, tipped wide. Sharples, a defenseman, came down the right side, and Gallant got it to him, but his shot tipped wide, and the Kings clear it to center.
And the Kings got a break because Sharples went down the right side. He's a left shot. He had to turn and try and shoot off the pass, and he was really in an awkward position.
Now Kennedy sends it high in the air, and we're going to get an icing call against the Kings. It comes all the way back in the Detroit zone. 4:42 left second period. 4-1 Kings. 4-1 favor the Kings. Say if you want season ticket information, call this number. There's a representative standing by in the 213 area. 673-6003. Now the Red Wings with it, left point. Here is Sharples moving in. He shoots, save Melanson. He was down on the ice, and he made the save. And the rebound shot right back into his pads.
Well, the fans giving Rolly Melanson a nice ovation. He's had to battle a couple of times through getting hit in the head with a puck. Sharples had time to move in and unload, and Melanson had to go down to his right knee, his right leg, to get a look at that away from Crossman and one of the Red Wings. He made the pad save and controlled the rebound, which was very important because waiting was Adam Oates to pop in the loose puck.
Let me give you that number again for season ticket information and group information. It's the 213 area, 673-6003. And there are representatives standing by right now to take your call and give you all the information you need. And if tonight's game is any indication, Nick, there are going to be 40 exciting nights here at the Forum.
Well, as this game progresses, Bob, the Kings up 4-1 now. You've got to be impressed with the Kings' play at even strength. They are giving the Red Wings virtually nothing.
Now Norwood sends it right point. Delorme shoots, saved by Melanson. Rebound, Kings with it. Here they come to center. Here is Gretzky, 3-on-3. Gretzky down the right side, Detroit zone, cuts to the left. Gretzky still with it, curls back to the blue line, holds it outside, but then it's tipped away from him. And down the right side is Sean Burr. Hustling back is Crossman. Burr with it, shoots, tipped wide. Oh, and Crossman bumps into Melanson and knocks him into the net, and they knock the net loose. Holy cow, what a tough night for Rolly Melanson. He's down on his knees, and Gretzky almost made a great play at the other end, Nick. He pulled up, but then it was tipped away from him, and Sean Burr had a pretty good chance. Crossman got back in a hurry.
Yeah, Crossman really forced him wide, and all he could settle for was a little backhand chip shot, and Melanson just had to stand his ground. But as it turned out, it was deflected by Crossman and went way wide to the right of Melanson. And then Rolly, who's got to wonder if anybody out there is on his side now. He's been bumped and banged around by the puck, the Red Wings, and now Crossman.
Say, we want to send greetings and get well greetings to a great friend of ours and an outstanding writer and great friend of hockey in this town, Alan Malamud, sports writer with the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner. He's over at Cedars-Sinai Hospital. And Alan, sorry you couldn't be here tonight. Get well in a hurry and come on out and join us here at the Forum. Also, our congratulations to Gary and Joanna Simon on their wedding this summer. They're great Kings fans.
Bernie Nichols out to take the face-off twice in his 6-year career with the Kings. He's led the club in scoring, set a club record last year with 7 shorthanded goals.
Kings moving left to right and leading 4-1 here in the second period. Red Wings take it away at center ice. John Shabbat, formerly with Montreal, fires it back behind the King net. It's played there now as Tim Waters, a new defenseman, acquired as a free agent from Winnipeg, sends it up to center ice. Tipped away. Waters goes for it again, but the Red Wings control it. 3:45 to go, second period. Here is Chris King to Miroslav Friedrich. Oh, and he is black hard by Bernie Nichols. Here's a breakaway. Here's Luke Robitaille all alone. In front, he shoots, he scores! Second goal of the night and 100th career goal, and he got it on a breakaway after a hard check by Nichols. The puck taken by Robitaille. I thought he was going to lose it at the last second, but he got it and put it in the right-hand corner, and the Kings lead 5-1.
Guy like Robitaille, he knows what he wants to do when he goes in. Stefan fell down, was going down before Robitaille showed what he was going to do, and Luke had plenty of room on the backhand side, on the glove hand side. Second goal of the game for Luke, the number 100 in his short NHL career.
And the fans are not booing. They're hollering, Luke, Luke. And the Kings with a 5-1 lead as they trailed 1-0 and now have stormed back with 5 straight. Now again, across the line, Fenton almost had a break, but Zombo got back to break it up. Now the Kings, Nick, are getting behind the Detroit defense. And this wasn't a bad defensive team last year either. Now the Wings with a pass in front, tipped by Melanson, loose puck, Kings with it. Duguay, right side, he can't clear it, but it will be cleared by Duchesne. 3-on-2, Duchesne to Duguay, to Fenton, left side. Fenton shot, saved by Stefan, and the puck comes back on the left side to Joe Murphy. Murphy cleared it ahead to Yzerman. He got it out to center ice.
The goal, Robitaille from Laidlaw and Nichols at 16:26. Luke with 3 points, 2 goals and an assist tonight.
Now at center ice, Kings with it. McBean gives it over to Dean Kennedy, up to the red line. Now on the right wing side, across the line, Tonelli to McSorley, shoots and a save. Rebound, right side, Tukey put it in front to Tonelli. John got knocked down. He scrambled on his knees. Kings try to hold it in again, but they can't. It's chased out to center ice by Marty McSorley. 2:10 to go here in the second period. Kings have scored 5 unanswered goals and lead 5-1. Puck comes around the boards on the right side, held in by Tukey. Now taken away on a pass by Tonelli. It was picked up by Sharples. He cleared it to center ice for Detroit. Here's Crossman for the Kings. He sends it over the left side to McBean. McBean drives it down in deep in the Detroit zone. Behind the net goes Taylor. Taylor's on. The Kings are in a line change. Carpenter jumps on. Tukey is still on though, so Gretzky not on yet. He's sitting on the boards in the front of the King bench, and the Red Wings bring it to center. Now Paul McLean sends it in, and Wayne Gretzky jumps on the ice for the Kings. 5-1 Kings lead. Wings hold it in the Kings zone, but Taylor tips away the pass by Oates. Now the loose puck shoveled ahead out to center ice, and Gretzky with it to Bobby Carpenter. Carpenter across the line, left side. He shoots, he scores! Bobby Carpenter! Got it and made a great move. a slot and then moved to his left side. And he ripped a shot that came in and out of the net quickly. He jumped around a diving Detroit defenseman, moved to the left, and did he unload one up into the upper right-hand corner. And the Kings lead 6-1. Carpenter stepped across the line and moved around Lee Norwood to the left, and the crowd giving a tremendous ovation here. Bobby Carpenter with his first of the year. Now Detroit, Adam Oates can't get a shot, tipped away. Wayne Gretzky gets an assist on it. He got it to Carpenter. And Wayne McBean. Now the puck taken by the Kings, but a pass broken up and sent back down by Dave Barr into the Kings zone. Here's Bernie Nichols back to get it now. In the Kings zone, pass up to center ice with 44 seconds left to go here in the second period, and the Kings have scored 6 unanswered goals. Red Wings with it. Pass on the right side to Dave Barr. Here's Barr going behind the net with a pass, broken up there. Kings try to clear it out, but they can't. Here's Jim Pavis at the left point for Detroit. Pavis sends it down in deep, now centered up the middle, shot saved, Melanson rebound score as Gerard Gallant got the first shot. Dave Barr was in front of the net also. So with 23 seconds left to go here in this second period, the Red Wings get their second goal of the game. Adam Oates had it in the corner, and Oates flipped it out in front of the net to Gerard Gallant. Melanson made one save, but while he was down, Gallant put the rebound in. Gallant getting his first of the year. So after 6 unanswered goals by the Kings, the Red Wings score again. With only 23 seconds left to go here in this second period. Adam Oates gets an assist on Wings with it again, but the Kings break it up, but don't clear it. Here is Pavis moving in. He shoots, save Melanson. Rebound to Duchesne. 7 seconds to go in the period. Up to Fenton. He clears it to center. That should do it. 2 seconds to go in the period, and the second period is over. Outstanding period for the Los Angeles Kings.
Welcome back to Kings Classic. This is Bob Miller along with Jim Fox and Nick Nixon, and we are looking back to October 6th of 1988 when Wayne Gretzky played his first game for the Los Angeles Kings, and the Kings playing Detroit had a 6-2 lead at the end of 2 periods. That second period was really exciting, and not only the Taylors and Robitaille and Gretzky and Nichols, Nick, but some of the other names really conjure up some memories of some of those Kings players.
Yeah, they really do. Mike Krozhelnicki, Marty McSorley, let's not forget they were big parts in this massive trade with the Edmonton Oilers. And, you know, we talked about the anticipation of the Kings being a team that could do some damage and be a team that could be very successful, not only this particular season, Gretzky's first, but in the next few seasons. You know, the players were in place. You had Dave Taylor in his prime. You had a young Luc Robitaille who has already established himself as an all-star left winger. Bernie Nichols certainly could score goals with the best of them in that decade of the 80s. So the pieces were falling into place, and you know, I think this was just the start of what a lot of people expected. You know, Showtime with the Kings hockey with Wayne Gretzky, and on opening night, what better framework to show the fans that this is what we can do.
I looked at some of the other names on that lineup that night, and of course Tommy Laidlaw, Doug Crossman, Paul Fenton, Dean Kennedy was there, Wayne McBean, Larry Playfair.
And Bob, the Kings had 8 natural defensemen in the lineup because Larry Playfair and Marty McSorley, you're watching the game, were playing forward on opening night. So, you know, the team was still trying to figure out where all the pieces were going to fit in with Wayne Gretzky there.
And the flowing locks of Ron Duguay without the helmet out on there. Foxy, you played 68 games the year before. Due to injury, did not play the first year Wayne Gretzky was there. He came back, played 11 the next year, and then you had to retire. Must have been, in a way, terrible for you to not be out on the ice with the excitement surrounding the team at that time.
I had my first knee surgery in the spring that preceded that season, and all summer I thought I was going to play. So I have to admit, selfishly, I'm thinking maybe I'm one of the guys they're going to think about to play with Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky could score goals, but also he's known mostly as a playmaker. So if I get open, he gets me. So I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be part of it. So that was part of the opening night too. You know, you play preseason, so you have an idea, but who was going to start the game with Wayne Gretzky? So you have Bobby Carpenter, Dave Taylor. Those just a great line, individual plays. You have Taylor providing some muscle, and that's another aside to the opening night, and you just talked about some of the names. We don't have it as much anymore in the NHL because of the instigator, but the muscle factor. Wayne Gretzky always had protection. So now you have Marty McSorley who comes over. You have Dean Kennedy who can throw him. Krushelinski, Taylor, then you have Larry Playfair, who's in the lineup as a defenseman, as Nick just talked. So you have that muscle factor. So as Nick was talking about, things change. Everything changed, and obviously it made it a better team.
Yeah, you'd have had 75 goals that
Easy,
year.
easy.
6-2, Kings leading, and they get a couple more in the third period. Let's go to the third period face-off.
Counts of this game without the express written consent of the Kings is prohibited. Third period underway. Kings ahead 6-2. Both teams at full strength. Puck is in the Kings zone. Here's Sean Burr and Dave Taylor pushing at one another.
Yeah, it's almost like the Red Wings are coming out. They want to get something going to wake up their hockey club, maybe get the momentum to switch, because it looked like right from the opening faceoff that Burr came in and just made it known to everybody that he was going to try and get his club aroused. A little pushing and shoving with Taylor, and Dan Marawelli skates away. And I don't believe we're going to get penalties. The Kings captain rebounded with 26 goals last year after a career low 18 in 86-87. He has averaged 31 goals a season in his 11 years with the Kings, all with the Kings in the NHL. Dave Taylor out of Clarkson. Gretzky stays out with Bobby Carpenter and Taylor up front. Duchesne on left defense with Dean Kennedy.
Now Bobby Carpenter drives it into Detroit zone. Then he gets upended by Sean Burr. No penalty there. Carpenter lost his stick, but it was sent right back to him by Steve Duchesne. Puck comes all the way down to the King zone. Behind the net, here's Kennedy checked there. The Wings trying to dig it out, and it is moved along the boards now by Dean Kennedy. Tried to kick it ahead, and now it comes off the boards on the right side. Kings bring it to center. Here is Dave Taylor on the right side to Duchesne down the middle. Duchesne trying to move in and get it to Carpenter, but he couldn't do it. It rolled off his stick. Now it comes around the boards on the right wing to Detroit. Red Wings move on to center ice on the right side. Across the line, Joe Kocher with a drive, and it's knocked away, picked up by Gallant. He tried to center it, broken up by the Kings. Sent up on the right side now. Here is a pass to Gretzky across the line, dropped it for Tonelli to Gretzky. Gretzky tried to pass in front. He has it again to McSorley. Shoots, and it's knocked away. Gretzky got it again, went behind the net, gave it to McSorley standing right on the doorstep. Puck comes up to center ice. Red Wings with it. Sharples ahead to Yzerman. Yzerman, nice move, shoots, save, Melanson. Oh, what a move Yzerman put on a veteran defenseman, Doug Crossman. But Melanson came up with a save you've got to get from your goaltender, and he turned Yzerman away with a great save. Puck taken by McBean. He drives it in, saved by Stefan, and on the rebound, he covers up the shot by Tim Tukey.
Well, a lot of newcomers in the lineup tonight for the Los Angeles Kings, and in his 10th NHL season, his veteran left winger John Tonelli, of course, a member of the four-time Stanley Cup champion New York Islanders in the early 80s, 80 through 83, signed as a free agent from the Calgary Flames. A lot of people feel that Tonelli can still score some goals, but in preseason we saw Tonelli on lines that you would expect to prevent goals, with guys like Tim Tukey at center, Mike Allison before he went down, and Marty McSorley on the right side. Again, Mike Allison recovering from a wrist problem, not in the lineup tonight.
Face off to the right of Greg Stephan. Tim Tukey on the draw with Yzerman. The puck taken by Rick Zombo. Zombo for the Wings. Clears it up to the blue line and out to center ice. Sent back in the Detroit zone, but Sharples is there. Kings ahead 6-2, third period, 18-13 to go in the period. Here there's Sharples with a drive, save Melanson, rebound up the middle, taken by Waters. Waters pass on the right side to McSorley, tipped away and held against the boards. McSorley trying to dig it out, and he does, and passes to the blue line, but it's held in by the Wings. Here's Joe Murphy on the left side, into Yzerman. Yzerman tried to go behind the net, he fell down. Puck taken by the Kings, Marty McSorley on the right wing. Here's McSorley, fending off a check, and then getting it up the center to Tukey to Tonelli. Tonelli across the line to Tukey, left wing. Tukey shoots, and a save off the stick of Stefan. The puck goes up on a play, and then we've got Tukey, Tonelli, and Zambo and Sharples all meeting behind the Detroit net.
Well, Tonelli was upended after he got rid of the puck. He dropped it on the left side to Tukey, and Tonelli was trying to head for the front of the net, and he got tied up by Zambo and company. So they are separated 6-2. The Kings are in front, and we'll be back.
Face-off in the Detroit zone to the right of goaltender Greg Stephan. Kings ahead 6-2. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon on opening night here at the Forum. The 22nd season for the Los Angeles Kings, 72nd season for the National Hockey League. Now Doug Hallward comes up to center ice. Hallward to the red line. Flips it into the King zone, and Crossman back to cover up. Crossman sends it around the boards, and it is going to be taken by Wayne McBean. McBean to center. McBean down the left side. He's got 2 assists tonight. McBean drops it back now at the blue line. A pass further back is tipped away by Hallward, and Detroit has it. Here's Gallant. Gallant moving to his left. King zone. Gallant shooting wide to the right. Rebound off the boards taken by Luc Robitaille. Robitaille for the Kings. Up ahead to Crossman. Crossman, Detroit line, across the line, tipped away and back up the center as the Red Wings come back. Pass by Gallant, tipped right back to him. Gallant to Barr. Dave Barr stops left side. He's checked there, and the puck tipped away by Duchesne. Kings come to center. Here is Taylor. Taylor across the line, dropped it for Robitaille. Top of the slot, now in the slot. Duchesne can't get his stick on it, and it's taken away by Norwood. 16:42 to go. Third period. Kings up 6-2. Here is Adam Oates for Detroit. He sends it down the right side into the Kings zone. Picked up by Dean Kennedy. Kings moving right to left here in the third period. Here's Gretzky with it. Gretzky to Taylor. He's got Carpenter with him across the line. Here is Taylor driving down the left side. He's checked there in the Detroit zone. He goes in the left wing corner. Puck is loose. Played there by the wings and set to Kocher on the right side. Joey Kocher sends it out to center, and John Shabbat checked along the boards. He tried to get around Laidlaw and couldn't do it. Puck comes loose, picked up by Gretzky. Here's Gretzky in the King zone. Here's Gretzky up across the King line. Now to the red line. Now the Detroit line. He shoots. It's deflected into the corner. Gretzky got to the blue line and blasted one, but it hit a skate and deflected. Now Kocher to center, taken away by the Kings. Waters with it. Tim Waters fires it back behind the Detroit net. Remember Saturday night, Calgary here. Sunday night, the Islanders here. Tickets available for box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. Puck comes to the King line. Picked up but offside by Detroit's Joe Kocher. 15:42 to go. Third period. Kings lead at 6-2.
15:42 left in the third period. The Kings are up 6-2. The game seemingly is intact. And now the Kings can just relax a little bit, possibly, and not get caught out of position. Make the Red Wings work for every chance they're going to get. Don't get caught out of position up ice.
Benton to Duguay. Duguay drives it in the Detroit zone. The puck comes right back to him, but he couldn't hold it in. Red Wings come to center, 3-on-3. Pass across the right side to Kocher, tipped away by Laidlaw, picked up by Sharples. Sharples passes on the right side. Here is John Shabbat for Detroit. Sends it in deep, taken away by Waters. Waters plays it around the boards. Red Wings pinch and hold it in. Fenton down to the corner. He tips it up in the air. Duguay with it for the Kings. Dugay's pass up on the right side now as the Kings come to center, but it's tipped away and from Larry Playfair and played now by Zombo for Detroit. Now taken away at center ice. Kings with it. Playfair to Dugay. Right side. He shoots a rising shot off the glass. 14:55 to go. Third period. Kings 6. Detroit 2. Puck taken by Jim Pavis of Detroit with a drive from outside the blue line. Easy stop made by Melanson. Kings with it again, starting out of their own zone. Crossman up ahead to center. To McSorley now on the right side to Tukey. Tukey in the slot. Tukey shoots. Save. Rebound. McSorley just couldn't get his stick on it and hold it. Puck comes in to McSorley, right wing corner. And a hand pass called against the Kings. 14:32 to go, third period. Kings have a 6-2 lead over Detroit.
6-2, Kings in front again at even strength. The Red Wings are really struggling. They're without, in the terms of Jacques Demers' estimation, their second and third best players, Bob Probert and Peter Klima, and offensively they have struggled really from the outset. Steve Yzerman has been a factor on both goals.
Now the puck in the King zone. Yzerman goes behind the King net. He had McLean in front. Puck comes to the blue line. Norwood shooting, tipped wide, and what a scramble. What's going on in front of the net? Marawelli is watching it. Now he's going to get a penalty. He's going to call a penalty to McLean of Detroit. Kings with it. Shot right side, wide by Taylor. Rebound, sent up the middle, and Kennedy to Carpenter. He shoots, and another save. And the puck is at the blue line, but Now they blow the whistle. The cross-checking penalty is going to be to Paul McLean, but good heavens, back in front of the net, he could have called it long ago. We'll be right back.
Paul McLean for cross-checking at 6:06, and the penalty was taken in front of the Kings net as play was going back down into the Detroit zone. A pile-up in front, and as Bobby Carpenter tried to get up, he was cross-checked to the ice by Paul McLean. So the Kings go on the power play for the 5th time tonight. They have a power play goal, 2 of them, as a matter of fact, Gretzky and Robitaille. They're 2 of 4 tonight.
And on the draw, the Red Wings with it. Here's Norwood behind the net. He gets bumped there. The pass to Krushelnyski. He can't hang on to it. It's taken away by Dave Barr. Barr for Detroit to the red line. Had it tip off his stick, taken by Krushelnyski. He sends it back down in. He's got Luc Robitaille up front with him, along with Bernie Nichols. Gretzky's at the left point, and Duchesne at the right point. Red Wings just do clear it off the stick of Nichols out to center ice. Here's Gretzky with it. Gretzky's got a goal and 2 assists tonight. Robitaille 2 goals and 1 assist. Here's Robitaille on the left wing in the Detroit zone. Robitaille bumped there, sends it behind the net. Greg Stefan sends it around the boards, held in by Duchesne. Nice play to Gretzky. Gretzky, his pass in front, save, rebound, up the middle. Duchesne, left side, Nichols, his pass broken up by the goaltender Stefan. And the Red Wings with it on the right side. Norwood will clear it to center, or Barr, excuse me, down into the Kings zone.
Well, the Kings moved the puck around beautifully, and they got it down low, which you want to do on the power play. They got Nichols isolated, but too many legs in front. The fallen goaltender and a fallen defenseman.
55 seconds to go in the King power play. We're in the 3rd period. Kings ahead 6-2. 12:45 to go in the period. Here's Nichols up the middle. Duchesne shooting, and a save by Stefan. Rebound, another save on Carpenter's try. Carpenter again out to the blue line, but nobody there at the left point for the Kings, and they have to chase it to center with Duchesne back to get it. He gives it to Nichols. Nichols pass to Gretzky on a break. He's in alone. He shoots. Saved by Stefan, and the net gets dislodged. And Wayne Gretzky gets stopped on the break coming down the right side.
And one of the Red Wings went crashing into the far post and is down and hurting. Nichols is looking at the Red Wing. Stefan is slow in getting up as Gretzky skates away from the pack and is getting a pretty good ovation.
Well, I said earlier tonight that they were 2 childhood buddies. Stefan and Gretzky, and Gilbert Delorme is the player that's injured, and he appears to be in pain down to the left of the Detroit net. But Gretzky had a pretty good chance down there, Nick, and I think he's the one to admit that he just on breakaways has a lot of trouble, and that time he had a step down the right side and got stopped by Stefan. He went in pretty deep, and Stefan stopped him, and Greg Stefan is bent over, kind of trying to get his win.
Yeah, both goaltenders have really been banged around tonight as they try and help Gilbert Delorme up, and they get him up, and he's still limping noticeably, and he'll be helped off to the Red Wings dressing room.
Well, he's injured his left leg, and they're going to take Gilbert Delorme off the ice. 26-year-old that was a number 2 pick by Montreal in 1981.
Again, Nichols with a cross-ice feed gets Gretzky open behind the defense. The Kings have done that a lot tonight. Gretzky moves in. He's going to stop up, and Stefan goes down, but Gretzky can't find the handle, and sliding into the far post was Delorme. He was already down on the ice, and yes, aren't we glad those nets move a lot easier than they used to, because Delorme was hurt anyway, but he really seriously could have been hurt. Delorme goes sliding in and just wraps, it looks like, his knee on that goal post.
Play underway again. Kings still on the power play with a 6-2 lead. 23 seconds left to go on the power play. Gretzky up the middle of Crossman. Right side, Gretzky shoots. Tipped wide. Rebound taken behind the net. Picked up by Carpenter. Here's Bobby Carpenter with it. He feeds it off on the right side along the boards to Gretzky. Gretzky up the middle of Crossman. Crossman back to Gretzky. Top of the right circle. Winds. Pass in front. Taylor shoots. Saved by Stefan. Oh, and what a beauty there. Gretzky faked the shot, fed it right into the left side of the slot to Taylor, and Greg Stefan now, Nick, is coming up with some real NHL saves, but is it too late? They're down 6-2.
Well, if it's not for Greg Stefan now, the Kings are up 8-9-2. I mean, they're getting that many great chances, particularly on this power play, which only has 5 seconds left. Taylor right in front, shooting. The save is made. Taylor scrambling after his own rebound, but Stefan rolling around, obviously a bit fatigued already. already reaches back and prevents the puck from trickling over the line. Gretzky with a setup. Gretzky and Crossman on the points. Now the whistle and 5 seconds left in the man advantage. We get changes. Tukey, McSorley, Tonelli up front. Laidlaw and Waters defensively.
Nick, you know, the Kings obtained a guy named Jim Holford from the Buffalo Sabres in the waiver draft, a defenseman. He was here, went home because his wife was going to have a baby, and she did. She had a baby boy. 5 p.m. this afternoon. Mackenzie Ross, 7 pounds, 12 ounces. So our congratulations to Jim Holford and his wife. Puck is picked up now along the left wing boards in the Detroit zone. Here's Tim Tukey shooting, and just tipped wide. Actually may have been trying to get it to Tonelli. Tonelli playing his usual game, just barreling into the corner, bouncing off checks, bouncing off the boards, and then they smother the puck behind the Detroit net. That is vintage John Tonelli right there.
Absolutely, and Kings fans have been so fortunate over the years because they've seen that style of play from Dave Taylor for now 12 seasons. Tonelli is a member of the opposition, the Islanders in Calgary for 9 years. John Tonelli just barreling, rambling, going right into that corner, going over players, through players, churning, legs never stop, battling with the arms, the legs, and he skates off with his line mates and he gets a hand. So Bob, everybody doing what they've done for a number of years. This is an experienced hockey club. It's a bigger hockey club. A lot of NHL experience. The Tonellis are doing the work along the boards. Dave Taylor and the goal scorers are putting the puck in the net.
11:33 to go, third period. 6-2 Kings. Calgary here Saturday night. The Islanders here Sunday night. Tickets available. Forum box office open every day and all Ticketmaster outlets. Both teams at full strength. Puck taken by the Red Wings in their own zone. Hallward tried to clear it out, couldn't do it. Here's Robitaille, left side. His pass in front, tipped just wide as he got a pass on the right side to Bernie Nichols. Now Nichols to Robitaille. Robitaille to Kruzhelnyski, Detroit zone. Back to Nichols, left side. Nichols tied up by Hallward. Nichols bounces off the check. He spun around, holding to Hallward. They're going to get him on the penalty. Pulled down behind the net is Kruzhelnyski, and the Red Wings have it, but the penalty holding against Doug Hallward. Kings go on the power play.
Doug Hallward, a former King, gets 2 for holding at 8:53. The Red Wings now are just almost look like a fatigued hockey club, Bob, because the Kings are getting that extra half step. They're beating them to loose pucks, and the Kings are just dominating this third period. Nichols with some great work, spinning off a Hallward check, picking up the puck, trying to muscle it in front. Hallward just hanging on for a ride and finally grabbed the penalty. And after that, Kruzhelnyski was dumped. Robitaille was dumped as they had their men beat as they tried to work with the puck on the delayed call.
And Carpenter, Taylor, Gretzky up front. Crossman and Duchesne back on the power play. Face off in the Detroit zone. Kings ahead 6-2. Puck comes into the corner. Norwood with it for Detroit to the right point. Crossman holds it in. He plays it off the boards. Here is Gretzky on the right side. Gretzky feeds it up the middle to Crossman. Crossman down the left side. Pass up the middle now to Taylor to Carpenter. Carpenter to Gretzky. Tipped away by Steve Yzerman. Boy, the Kings a little tic-tac-toe right there.
Well, I think the Kings aren't the only team in town that likes to put on a little show time.
Now up to center. Kings with it. They got a 4-on-2 working here. Here's Taylor across the line. Left side to Carpenter. Carpenter on the power play. Carpenter stops along the left wing boards. Feeds it to Duchesne. He didn't hold it in. He comes back down into the King zone. Melanson sends it up the right side to Crossman. Now to Gretzky. Right side. Gretzky in the slot. Gretzky back on the right side. Crossman shoots. Save. Rebound. Nichols shoots. He hit the goal post. Nichols hit the post on the left side. Back come the Red Wings. Up to center ice. Preacher had it tipped away. Another good passing play that time. Now the Kings with it again. 58 seconds to go on the power play, but they lose it at the Detroit line. Cleared back down into the King zone, and Crossman with it. Up ahead to center. Here is Gretzky giving it to Robitaille. Robitaille to Gretzky. Detroit zone. Gretzky right side to Robitaille. In front and over to Nichols. Nichols out to the left point. Gives it to Tim Waters. Waters feeds it back to Nichols. Left side. Nichols shoots. Save. Rebound. Robitaille couldn't get to it. Tipped away by Stefan. Robitaille left side. Still has it. In the zone. Nichols right side. And Kings hold it in. Pass up the middle of Waters. Waters trying to give it to Gretzky on the right side. Duchesne had trouble with it again. He's had trouble with the puck all night. Now Duchesne gets it into the blue line. Pass left side to Nichols. He couldn't handle it. Plays it off the boards. Gets it to Waters. Left point. In deep. Taken by Robitaille. Right side. 13 seconds to go in the power play. Up the middle. Duchesne to Gretzky. To Nichols. Nichols shoots. Save. Rebound. Score! Great passing again on the power
the point to Steve Duchesne. Duchesne floats it in front. It's deflected. Gretzky to Nichols. Nichols tries to stuff it in. Can't do it. And skating by Luc Robitaille to tap it in.
So the Kings with a 7-2 lead over Detroit, and now at center ice here's Fenton, but a hand pass called, I believe, against the Kings here, and there's some debris back in the Detroit zone.
Luc Robitaille with the goal, his 5th career hat trick. Nichols tries to jam it in, and it skips across to Luc Robitaille to the left and behind Stefan. 5th career hat trick for Luc Robitaille. Robitaille, 3 goals tonight, along with an assist.
I'll be honest, Nick, that happened so fast I didn't see him get his stick blade out there to tip it in. He was over on the right-hand side.
Well, it's tough for anybody to follow the puck the way the Kings have been moving it around here in the 3rd period.
7-2, Kings lead it. The last time they won an opener, they beat Detroit 8-1. Here's Duguay shooting, a blast wide and off the boards. Duguay from about 40 feet out, and did he unload one? Now Oates fires it back down in. The goal by Robitaille from Gretzky and Nichols. Hard check back in the King zone as Higgins got knocked down. Here's Oates with it, shooting, and a pad save by Melanson. The puck comes over now to the Kings and cleared to center by Laidlaw, just out of the reach of Ron Duguay. Now Gallant shooting, save Melanson. He came right up the middle and knocked it down. And the Kings are getting everything tonight now. They're getting good scoring, they're getting good goaltending, and they're playing very well at equal strength against the Detroit Red Wings. And Gerard Gallant, one of the upset Red Wings tonight.
Well, it's been a night for the Los Angeles Kings. Needless to say, Gallant had time and room from about 35 feet. Melanson came out to cut down the angle, makes the save, one of the few tough saves he's had to make in the period and the hockey game. The Red Wings just have not generated a lot of offense tonight, and the Kings have just taken over here in the 3rd period with good scoring chance after good scoring chance.
Luc Robitaille, 3 goals and an assist. Gretzky, 1 goal, 3 assists.
Injury report on Gilbert Delorme, who was carried off earlier, left thigh contusion.
Face-off in the King zone. Comes to the blue line and out to center ice. 7:55 to go, 3rd period. Kings 7, Red Wings 2. Puck taken by the Kings' Wayne McBean, and now it comes out to center ice. We'll give you that number again to check on season tickets and group tickets, because you don't want to miss any of this action here this year. Kings with it across the line. Here's Tukey in the slot. He shoots, he scores! Slot, and he pulled the trigger, and it's a rout now. It's 8-2 Los Angeles.
Tukey with a nice move, little head fake. Hallward moving across, and Tukey just headed from where Hallward came, and he had open ice, and he picks the lower right corner on Greg Stefan, the glove hand side, for his first goal of the season. Tim Tukey, who missed most of last year with knee surgery, with the goal at 12:22. Doug Crossman with the assist. 8-2 Los Angeles. So the Kings, Bob, ought to open up more often against Detroit, I guess.
I guess so. They did it 8 years ago, as we said, and beat them 8-1, and the Kings have not won a home opener since. They had lost 4 and tied 3 until tonight. But boy, have they turned it on tonight. They fell behind 1-0, the Kings did, and then scored 6 unanswered goals. And 7:14 remained in the 3rd period, and a sellout crowd of 16,005 has had a lot to cheer about here tonight on this historic night at the Fabulous Forum. Wayne Gretzky's first regular season game in a King uniform. Across the line came Joe Murphy of Detroit, fell down. Kings cleared it out. Wings send it back in and took a crazy hop toward Rolly Melanson, but he moved to his left to knock it down, and it's cleared to center now by Laidlaw. Wings with it again. Yzerman steps across the line, sends it on the left side to Joe Murphy. Here's Joe Murphy going behind the King net. He is bumped there. In to help out is Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky starts it back the other way. 3-on-2 for the Kings. Gretzky to Carpenter. Here's Carpenter across the line on the right side. Now to Gretzky. Moving in. He shoots. Tipped away. the puck from Marty McSorley. Gretzky with it again. The Carpenter shoots. Blocked. Puck comes over to McSorley, but he didn't see it. It bounced up in the air and then behind him. And it's cleared up over the glass into the crowd. 6:21 to go, third period. 8-2 Kings.
Well, the big five, Robitaille, Gretzky, Nichols, Carpenter, and Taylor with 7 goals and 10 assists. And 19-year-old Wayne McBean has a couple of assists tonight. Luc Robitaille leading the way, a 4-point night with his 5th career hat trick. The Kings just pouring it on Detroit here in the third period. They have outshot the Red Wings 18-7 here in the third.
Now here is Gretzky. Pass on the middle of Carpenter. He didn't get it. Red Wings have it. Here's Freacher, but behind the play, the net is dislodged. So we have a stoppage in play. Let me give you that number again to call for group discounts and season ticket information. Don't miss a night here. It's going to be thrilling all year long. In the 213 area, 673-6003. That's area 213-673-6003. Representatives are standing by right now to give you information on how you can be here at the Fabulous Forum. Play underway again. Here is Taylor down the left side. Detroit zone bumped hard by Pavis. Puck comes up the middle. Kennedy, his shot deflected up in the air. Steffen whacks Carpenter with a stick. Puck comes around to Taylor. Taylor on the right side, tripped over Carpenter. Taylor into the corner, tried to kick it into Gretzky. Now Chris King of Detroit tries to move it along. 5:50 to go, third period. Here's Gretzky with it. Goes behind the Detroit net, stops there. Right side, Gretzky tried to either pass or shoot, I'm not sure which. Got stopped by Steffen, and they kind of patted each other on the back, and Wayne's got a smile on his face, and well, he should have. All the Kings should have. They have routed Detroit here tonight.
Well, a line change in this line, boy, they get a big ovation. Gretzky comes off with Dave Taylor, Bobby Carpenter. They have had chance after chance. Gretzky, where he loves to operate behind the net, he had room, so he decided to walk out. He did a little stick handling, but lost the puck. You know what the Kings are doing is what good teams have to do. They're going in for the kill. They're not letting up. They've got the game sewed up. They're up by 6 goals, but shift after shift, they're just going right at the Detroit Red Wings. They're not letting up one bit.
None of that prevent defense, which I've always wondered, it doesn't prevent anything. And,
prevents you from going anywhere.
the net looks dislodged again, and it is. So they'll put it back on the magnets with 5:37 to go. Don't forget our postgame show now. Be coming up right after the play-by-play. Nick will talk with a player of the game. We'll have scores from all the out-of-town games and highlights. It's been a big night for Luc Robitaille as he has 3 goals and 1 assist here tonight.
Well, 2 years ago, Rookie of the Year, 45 goals. Last year, All-Star left winger, 53 goals, and he gets 3 in his first game this year. Luc Robitaille just keeps getting better and better.
Singing goodbye to Detroit already. Nick, 5.5 minutes to go, third period.
They're a cocky bunch, aren't they, this year?
Didn't take them long, did it? Here's Freacher at center ice for Detroit. Gets it on the right wing. Cutting in is John Shabbat. Shabbat to Freacher. Shooting tipped wide. Freacher back by the King. The pass in front. Nice save, Melanson. On the shot by, what was that, Chris King, I believe. And he tried to draw a penalty. Now Nichols pass in the Detroit zone tipped away. Taken by the Red Wings. They start back left to right. 5 minutes left to go, third period. Kings ahead, 8-2. Here's Freacher trying to step in, can't do it. Centers it, taken away by Kruzhelnyski.
Good play by rookie Wayne McBean. Stayed right with the man, forgot about the puck, and just pushed him right off from making a play.
Now coming out of the Detroit zone, here's Hallward. He shovels it ahead to Barr. Dave Barr tried to jump around Laidlaw, nothing doing. Here's Waters with it, clears it up to center. As we said in our pregame show, the Kings much more mobile behind the blue line now. They've got players that can get the puck, move it up with a pass or skate it out of trouble. And that not only gets you out of trouble, but starts your offense the other way. Duguay getting a little upset down in front of the King bench. One of the wings.
Pushing and shoving with Doug Hallward between the benches.
Now on the right wing, Detroit with it. Here's Kocher's pass over to the left side. He tried to get it to Higgins, but it was tipped away. Puck is picked up by Fenton. Fenton ahead on the right side to Playfair. Normally a defenseman, he's playing right wing tonight. Here's Larry Playfair. He shoots from the right side, steered away by Greg Steffen. 4 minutes to go, third period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. Hope you're enjoying this tonight. Kings leading 8-2, and they're going to get their first win of the year here in game number 1 as the Wings go offside at the King blue line.
The Kings 8, Detroit 2. The Kings trying to win here at home to start a season for the first time since 1980 when they whipped Detroit 8-1. 0-4-3 in their last 7. That's all behind them now. They're up 8-2 with time running out here in the third period.
And the puck driven by Zombo of Detroit into the Kings zone. It comes around the boards. Kennedy with it. Can he clear it? No. Pavis holds it in. Fires it around the boards on the right wing side. Red Wings try to hold it in. They do. Dave Barr, but it's tipped away from him to Tonelli up to Tim Tukey. Tukey sends it on the right side to McSorley. McSorley sends it down in the Detroit zone, and an offside called the blue line with 3:27 to go here in the third period.
Marty McSorley, number 33, the number he wore in Edmonton. Hard-nosed right winger. Also played some defense late last season and into the playoffs for the Oilers. 9 goals, 17 assists, 26 points. But don't be deceived, he's not out there to score goals. He's out there to grind along the boards and keep the puck out of the Kings' net. He's out there with Tukey and John Tonelli now.
Now off the draw. Here's Tukey, left side Detroit zone. Shoots and a save by Steffen. Puck taken by the Red Wings in their own zone with 3:15 to go. Third period. Pass on the left side to Gallant. Gallant gives it to Adam Oates. Oates across the line. King zone down the left side trying to get around Crossman. Goes by that. Centers it. A shot high by Gallant. Puck comes on the right side. Oates to Gallant. Gallant for Detroit to the right point to Zombo. Zombo feeds it down the right side now to Gerard Gallant. Up the middle. Tipped to the blue line and held in by Zombo of Detroit. Zombo, his pass down the left side to Oates. Oates to Gallant. Here's Gallant trying to center it. Tipped away and cleared by the Kings. Wayne McBean.
Yeah, what a great job. Tonelli tying up Dave Barr in front. Barr wants to know why don't you call a penalty? He's interfering with me, but in front of the net you're going to get tied up, and Tonelli does that very well to the opposition.
Jim Pavis comes to the bench, born in New York City where his dad is a policeman, and a lot of happiness over on that Kings bench tonight, Nick, no doubt about that. They have exploded here for 8 goals tonight against the Detroit Red Wings, and Saturday night the Calgary Flames come in. That'll be a tough game, and the tough games continue. Sunday night here at the Forum, the New York Islanders.
Well, the game offensively from a Kings standpoint, they've gotten better and better as the game has progressed. First 10 minutes a little sluggish offensively, as was it for Detroit, but then after the Kings got that first goal, they just started to roll.
Now Carpenter to Taylor. He gives it to Gretzky across the line. Detroit zone to Taylor. He shoots and a save by Steffen. Taylor over on the left side is off wing and to turn to get the shot, but he put it on net. Red Wings with it now in their own zone. 2:20 to go here in the third period. A lot of the Kings filing out, or a lot of the fans, I should say, filing out. They know that this one has been wrapped up early here tonight. Now Barr for Detroit shoots from outside. Save made by Melanson. Puck comes to the left point, and an offside called against Detroit with 2:04 to go here in the third period of the Forum.
Again, the Kings homestand, the first homestand in 88-89, continues Saturday night with Calgary, Sunday with the Islanders, the next Wednesday the Boston Bruins, and a week from Saturday on the 15th the Philadelphia Flyers. And tickets for all the games in the regular season are on sale now at the Forum box office at Ticketmaster locations.
Bernie Nichols out at center.
Bernie, a big night, 4 points, a goal and 3 assists. 3 Kings players have 4 points. Gretzky and Nichols each with a goal and 3 assists. Robitaille, the hat trick, 3 goals and an assist. Taylor 1 and 1. Carpenter 1 and 2. McBean has a couple of assists.
Now Tom Laidlaw back to get it, back behind the King net. Laidlaw's pass up on the right side to Kruzhelnyski, tipped away from him, and the Red Wings hold it in. Here on the right side, spinning and shooting it, blocked by Laidlaw. Was Sean Burr with a shot. Now a shot by Kocher and a nice save by Melanson. Puck comes to Pavis. Pass in front, tipped away. Puck comes around the right side. Kocher with it for Detroit. 1:37 to go, third period. Kings up 8-2. Puck comes loose. Kings with it. Brought to center now, right in front of the King bench by Bernie Nichols. Nichols to the red line with Kruzhelnyski. Here is Nichols across the line to Kruzhelnyski. Kruzhelnyski to Robitaille. Robitaille pulls up on the right side, feeds it back to Tim Waters. Waters tried to give it to Kruzhelnyski. He didn't get it. Comes over to Bernie Nichols. Nichols out to the right side to Waters. Waters in the Detroit zone, down in the corner, pumped hard there. Gets help from Kruzhelnyski. Kruzhelnyski centered it, tipped away by the goaltender Steffen. 1:07 to go, third period. Puck comes out to center ice, taken by Laidlaw. He checks the clock, and we are now down to 1 minute to go in the third period. 8-2 Kings lead. Puck driven into the zone where, the Detroit zone where Duguay goes for it, but a whistle now with 52 seconds remaining here in the third period. Puck knocked down and a face-off in the Detroit zone. So Wayne Gretzky's wife, Janet Jones Gretzky, enjoying the game here tonight. The blonde lady sitting in the stands. She has seen her husband come out here tonight in his first home game in the regular season of the Forum and get a goal and 3 assists. He got the first goal of the night for the Kings here tonight. Now at center ice, Paul McLean sends it down into the King zone, tipped away by Crossman, right side to Duguay. Here's Duguay coming to center with Paul Fenton. Now Duguay flips it off the boards on the right side. 30 seconds left to go. 8-2 Kings lead. Don't forget our post-game show following our play-by-play. Puck is taken by the Wings in their own zone. Fans applauding now. 20 seconds remaining, third period. Here's Crossman for the Kings ahead to play fair. Everybody that's left here on their feet. 10 seconds to go. Kings going to win an opener for the first time in 8 years here at home. 4 seconds to go. The Wings win it. Shabbat shoots, save, and the game is over.
We're back on Kings Classic, taking a look at some great Kings games in their past, and tonight was October 6, 1988. Wayne Gretzky in his first game as a King, and the Kings defeated Detroit 8-2, and a big night for Wayne Gretzky, a goal and 3 assists. Luc Robitaille had 3 goals and 1 assist. Gretzky finished that year, Foxy, with 168 points. And you look at scoring now, and guys aren't coming anywhere near that to win the scoring title. What made him so good?
Well, we're asked that question all the time, and I think the one thing with Wayne Gretzky, it was his processor, the way he processed information. He was able to see a play, put it in his memory bank, go back to it anytime he wanted, and he did all of that quicker than most players. Another thing, the more complicated a situation on the ice got, advantage to Wayne. We all know throughout his career, he didn't really like breakaways.
Right.
It was too simple, one-on-one. The goaltender saw him, he knew what was available, that was it. The more options available to Wayne Gretzky, the more dangerous he became. So one-on-one, and he had some pretty good one-on-one moves, not necessarily dangerous because he'd use 2-on-2. Even though there's not a change in man advantage, there's more options, there's more variables. Wayne starts to become, I'd even take it to the point where I'd say 1-on-2. So Wayne Gretzky going down on 2 defenders, he's more dangerous than in a simple one-on-one because now he starts using one defenseman against the other. Yeah. Are they going to come over? Who's going to stand up on him? Is someone coming from behind? And again, like I mentioned, first of all, better than most players, and is it God-given? Did he watch a lot of hockey? And he said he used to watch hockey and follow the puck and trace a pad wherever the puck went. Anticipation. He could take that look back, okay, now the rush is going, and he'd have that in his mind. Who's coming up? How fast do they skate? What hand do they shoot? Those types of things. What defenseman, what hand does he have? Is he a poke checker? Is he a butt? He knew all of that, but put it all together. He processed it quicker, and again, the more options, the more variables, the better Gretzky got.
Same things, Bob, you said about Jim Fox when he broke in.
Yeah, right. You know, one thing that brought that home to me was that all of us would see Wayne Gretzky tell one of the officials there's too many men on the ice for the other team, because he knew someone is out of position, and he would know before they would that other team has got too many men on the ice.
Yeah, Jimmy talked about his processing method. I remember talking to the Edmonton coaches when he first broke in because the Kings and Oilers always had those rivalry games. John Muckler was with the Oilers as an assistant in the early days of Gretzky in the NHL. I said, what sticks out with Gretzky? He said awareness. He's like a chess player. He sees the game 2 or 3 moves before everybody else.
Right.
And as we had the opportunity to watch on a nightly basis after he joined the Kings, how true that was. I mean, it seemed like every 2 or 3 games we would see something from Wayne Gretzky that we had never seen before, not only from him, but from anybody else who played the game.
And even Wayne said, I surprise myself some nights. I do things I didn't know I could do.
You know, Bob, another thing people ask all the time, and it's more from playing against Wayne, was, why didn't you hit him? No one hits Gretzky. There's an unwritten rule that you can't hit Wayne Gretzky. Well, it was the intimidation factor. And again, he didn't necessarily make you look bad one-on-one. But he'd make you look bad with someone coming from behind the play. He'd make a pass that would make you look silly. So all of a sudden now you're in the situation, I guess the best, if you have a scrambling quarterback in the NFL, he's a real good scrambler. If you're a pass rusher, you can't just go right at him. You've got to take the angle and contain him. You go at him, that's exactly what he wanted. That's the same thing with Wayne. If you're coming at him as hard as you can, he's going to find someone else. He's going to make that speed and power work against you. He's going to make you look silly. So that's why guys really didn't. Once in a while, you had a chance. 5 times a year. I think we saw Dave Taylor do it a couple of times, but you just couldn't catch him. He knew where everyone was. He knew where they were coming from. You can't hit him.
I used to be hollering, hit him. That's when he was with Edmonton. I didn't say that when he was with the Kings. Well, the Kings went on that year, 42 wins. They had 91 points, second in the Smythe division. Came back against Edmonton from a 3-1 deficit in the playoffs and won that series 4-3, and then got beat by Calgary, who went on to win the Cup.
Yeah, and Bob, you know, looking back, Gretzky's first year, the first game, the Kings win it big, 8-2. It was obviously a new era for LA Kings hockey, and Gretzky was in his prime at age 28. But when you look ahead, and people knew the club was going to be successful for a number of years just with Wayne Gretzky. But in this particular game, Gretzky's first in LA, as you look back, there were only a couple of players that would be part of that nucleus that would lead the Kings the next 4 or 5 years. Dave Taylor, Luc Robitaille, Marty McSorley. Yeah. The next year, Bernie's gone. They bring in 2 top-quality forwards, and there's still some work to be done before the Kings feel that they're as good as they can be.
Fast forward, Bob, to the end of that season. I remember I wasn't playing again, but I came into the dressing room after a game in Edmonton. The Kings had won there in the playoffs, and Peter Miller, the Kings equipment manager, who'd been it through so many times with Wayne, he said, that's what's going to happen. It's normal. Wayne will do it. Or, he, you know, this is the type of thing where a team, again, believes and starts to come together. It was kind of a feeling for us that, okay, now we've got them, you have them. Peter Miller said, no, Wayne has it exactly like he wants it, and it's just a matter of time before you win.
Well, it certainly was an exciting time for the Los Angeles Kings. We hope you enjoyed looking back to October 6th of 1988 when Wayne Gretzky donned a Kings uniform for the first time. We're going to be looking back at a lot of the Kings' memorable games back starting in 1988 and on. And we hope you're going to join us again the next time that we do this. This is Bob Miller along with former Kings right winger Jim Fox and Kings radio play-by-play man Nick Nixon. Thanks for being with us tonight, and join us next time on Kings Classics.
Wayne Gretzky, the great one, has become the greatest of them all.